Hi guys, how are you doing today? I might as well just use this live to talk about what's on my mind today. I read in the news, um, it's not, this didn't happen too far from me, where a young girl dumped her baby in the parking lot of by like a grocery, by a restaurant actually. She left the newborn there. We don't know if the baby was alive when she left the baby there or if the baby was already dead. But someone later came out. I think someone that works at the restaurant came out for a break, sat down, and then saw the baby, saw something on the ground, and went to go see if the body was moving, and the baby was not moving. I am still thinking at this day and age why such a thing can happen. And we have many resources. Like when you go to give birth and stuff, they tell you, hey, if you don't want the baby, you can leave the baby with us, and nothing will happen. And you have a certain amount of days. If you change your mind, you can come have your baby. Okay, you can come get your baby. Even when you go, this is in the United States, California to be precise. I don't know about other states. They leave it there, like on the doors. Okay, the birthing rooms and stuff. So it's funny because I didn't really pay attention until when I was giving birth to my last child. Then I saw that at the door. I was like, oh wow, I didn't even know. But yeah, why? Why do such a thing? Why have the baby, then come and dump the baby? Okay? At the hospital, you could have given them away. You could have gone to the fire station. They won't ask you questions because that's the law. You are allowed. You can say, hey, I can't take care of the baby. Here's the baby. And they will let you know, okay, if you, in so days, or here's where your baby is gonna be. If you come back in so day, then that's fine. So now they found the girl, 21 years old. They found her and arraigned her to court. So with something like that, she's probably gonna be facing, I don't know, life in prison. For what? So, and it's so sad because there are so many people looking for kids. This life is just, some people are doing everything they can to have a baby. I don't, whose live were we on that we were talking about the different ways, different things people are doing now to have children. IVF, people are adopting, people are doing surrogacy, so many things that people are doing, and here, some people are looking for ways to get rid of the baby. It's not like when you found out you were pregnant that you said, okay, maybe you don't want to have the baby. This when you carried the baby for 9 months, and then you decide, okay, you don't want, what could it be? Even if it's heartbreak, what kind of heartbreak? What did the baby have to do with it? Who were you? Were you expecting that somebody will pick the baby up? So many questions, so many unanswered questions. But maybe we'll get the answers soon, and then I can share with you guys. You know? Yeah. I just said, let me come on. Let me try to come on live at this time and see. If there's anybody up. But that was really what was on my mind. I've been thinking about it all day. It's kind of, kind of made me sad. You know, it's not easy. Everybody's stressing over one thing or the other. You know. Children are a blessing, especially when they come into the world. The smile that they put on your face, Can't imagine. After all the struggles of carrying the baby for 9 months, then leave the baby just to go like that. She would have been better off if she gave it to somebody. Like I said, to the hospital. Different agencies that will take the baby. Probably did it to be spiteful to someone, but how? Things are happening. But I can't wait to find out more about the case and what she has to say. I want to know what was going through her mind. Did she even come back to come and check? Was the baby already dead? Those are all the questions I would like answered. Oh man, we're 12 minutes in to the video. Into the live, rather. Yeah. You guys that do this, it's not easy, but I'm not part of it. You guys that do this. Yeah. Is everybody sleeping? Oh, Sisha. This is not the best time to do live. I think maybe the best time is probably like around 6 or 7 my time or earlier. Excuse me.
King Street rubble. A section of the Bay Bridge collapsed. The traffic was lighter on the bridge that day because many headed to Candlestick Park for the World Series game between the Giants and the A's, likely preventing a larger
state capitol. Guns loaded. The Panthers found ways to be heard.
In response, state legislators crafted a new law making it a felony to publicly carry a loaded firearm without a permit. 1995, President Bill Clinton toured Roseville.
As residents watched closely, Mr. Clinton walked the hardest hit neighborhood.
Following massive flooding that destroyed homes, KOPR's John Lubertini reported on Clinton and the crowds.
Then the unexpected. Mr. Clinton wanted to tour flood-ravaged Rio Linda. But while in town, he stopped at the Archway Frosty Drive-In. The president ordered a bowl of chili and a Diet Pepsi. The meal was on the house.
2001, KOPR's George Franco was first on this fiery scene at the Capitol with camera rolling.
Photographer Manuel Diaz and I heard explosions on the south side of the Capitol.
The driver of an 18-wheeler plowing into the building. 7 decades sharing shocking
I'm George Franco, KOPR 13 News.
and historic stories.
Judith Wilson, KOVR 13 News.
WNET News 13, Sacramento. Guns, Newswatch 13.
A lot of the stories we do in one day, but others require days, weeks, even months to do, especially investigations. And that's what we bring in our own CBS California investigative correspondent, Judith Wilson.
I've been your investigative reporter for several years, but we recently launched a new franchise, CBS News California Investigates, where our investigations run on CBS stations across the state. Because, frankly, it became pretty clear that the Israel here in Northern California and in California's capital impact tens of millions of people across California. Many of my stories are hybrid investigations in the capital accountability reports, and frankly, there are a lot of questionable things that happen inside the state capital. My job is to take you inside the building and show you what's really happening when your lawmakers, elected officials, and other powerful folks think no one's watching. Another part of what we do is something called solutions-based journalism. It's where we don't just uncover the problem, we figure out what the possible solutions are and we're going to get them done. And speaking of solutions, that's what Paul Curtis, otherwise known as Curtis Ming, and his team do every day. Find solutions to your problem. He's the only one in the market with people who go to that for you. In fact, they help people with so many things. Such a lot of problems they fix that we're making on the air. Bottom line, together, our stories change lives and change lives. And we don't say that to sound self-serving. We want you to know that whether it's saving someone money or holding powerful accountable, we're deeply passionate about what we do and the impact it has on our
Still ahead, from cruising to a jailhouse concert. The pop culture moment that once reigned over Northern California. First, a look back with former stunt and reporter Craig Prosser, who nearly became a story when a shade structure at Weber Point failed with his camera rolling. I turned around and ran, and when I ran, I had a little that could have been the end of it right there. I figured that I had outrun the length of the pole.
CBS 13 is more than just news from Sacramento. We're adding real and unity with your report. The still claims that this family owns Salvador, the state soul taking the workers to the CBS 13 is telling the stories in your town. SUV voice to the voices in San Joaquin, highlighting local issues in your country. Your report getting real answers on CBS 13 News. It's not just a donation.
It's a warm blanket. It's a bottle of clean water.
It's a roof and a bed.
It's knowing someone cares.
It's feeling safe.
It's the
Every dollar you can spare helps so much more than you could imagine. Please donate now to help people affected by Hurricane Helene. Your support is urgently needed.
I'm Michael March, your produce man, and I've been giving you produce answers for 35 years right here on KOBR CBS 13. That's right, KOBR has been for 70 years, and I've been here half that time. The story actually began on the first day of winter in 1988. I was taking kiwi fruit, California kiwi fruit, to every radio and TV station in Sacramento and talking about California kiwi fruit. When I arrived at Oregon Lake to KOBR at the time, I gave a gift box of kiwi fruit to Tom Love, the weather anchor at the time, and in the corner was Julie Hopper. Julie Hopper wheeled around and looked at me and said, "Were you on FM 102 this morning?" And I said, "Yes, I was." "Were you talking about kiwi fruit this morning?" I said, "Yes, I was." He said, "That was really funny. Would you like to try television?" I said, "I'll try television." So February 1989, I tried television, and I've been on for 35 years since. And I haven't run out of things to talk about. Thanks for watching.
Michael is definitely left his mark here at KOBR. He's all right in that, right? Like Mark. You could say he's a kind of cultural icon here. Did you know his wife Julie makes all of his produce shows?
All of them. I want one. At least one, Julie. Let us be impressed by that. So Michael's been with us for 35 years, half the time that our station has existed. When we've got some other pop culture history we've covered it for 70 years we want to share with you. I'm Cyrus is taking a look back at that.
Hey there, guys, that's right. I'm here in the control room. This is a little place we like to call the booth. So many of our producers, directors, people behind the scenes, well, they're the ones who have really gotten a front row seat to history and a lot of really fun moments that have happened across the years. And we have some questions for you. What do Queen Elizabeth II, Liz Bronze, and Star Wars all have in common? Your reporters are the answers. I'm your reporter covering Sacramento County, Tori Oppenau, near the Johnny Cash Trail in Folsom, where people can walk the line just like Johnny Cash did, who had a newfound fame after recording an album in concert at the nearby Folsom State Prison.
I'm Johnny Cash.
It was January 14th, 1968. He wore black, inmates wore blue, as Cash sang a fictional song about a prisoner. Stockton native Gene Bealey was a newspaper writer back then. He got the assignment of a lifetime.
No one had any idea that it would become historic event.
Cash wasn't the only big name to visit Sacramento back in the day. Willie Nelson once held the two so-called California picnics in the 80s, bringing acts like the Oak Ridge Boys and Merle Haggard to Hughes Stadium at Sac City College. Frank Sinatra performed across the region a handful of times. Did you know he's the uncle of former KOBR reporter John Iender?
Every time I hear this music, I remember the day when I was a little kid walking down the Boulevard, looking out of his bedroom, hearing the practice of the song.
I'm your reporter covering San Joaquin County, Escobar, and also Hollywood also gone home here in downtown Stockton at the Valpo Theater that now sits on East Main Street. The theater was dedicated to the legendary comedian in 2004 after a 10-year restoration project on what used to be called the Fox California Theater, built in 1930. Stockton native and billionaire Alex Spanos performed on stage with Hulk for decades and recommended the name change. Here he is the night of the grand opening.
He was here every week up on stage singing in there.
And from the stars of Hollywood to being among them. That's Michael Peña, portraying Stockton native and NASA astronaut Jose Hernandez in the movie A Million Miles Away. Hernandez grew up working the crops in the San Joaquin Valley and was rejected for NASA 11 times before ultimately being selected to fulfill a 14-day mission, performing spacewalks and resupplying the International Space Station.
I'm your reporter covering San Joaquin County, Nina Burns, with the movie known for putting the Modesto on the map. 1973's American Graffiti put the spotlight on the Central Valley, cruising in a new car. Harrison Ford in his first starring role. Creator and Modesto native George Lucas would go on to make more movies with Ford, including Indiana Jones and a little something you may have heard of, Star Wars. Also a Modesto theme. Family, friends, and complete strangers built the State Theater in 2008 to took home an Oscar for Best Actor. It was the Rally for Runner, something they do again after the A-list actor nearly died when he was run over by his 14,000-pound snowplow. New Year's Day, 2023 knew his late Tahoe home.
I'm your reporter covering Sacramento County absentee. You might recognize this house in East Sacramento. It put the Fab 40s front and center, and it's all thanks to a hometown girl.
Hi, we're cheering with Jasmine and my backyard.
You might know her from a little film she recently did. Homegrown director Brad Burbank made the farm to Fort Capital famous for the film Lady Bird. It was nominated for an Academy Award in 2018. Just a few years later, another daughter of Sacramento, Jessica Chastain, will make her hometown proud, winning her first Oscar for Best Actress for her portrayal of Tammy Faye Baker. And you can bet both women grew up living to a Sacramento staple, Tower Records. Russell Solomon opened the store on Watt Avenue in 1960.
We stand for a part of the culture, the musical culture that was happening in the world and in this country.
Little did he know it would become one of the biggest record store chains in the nation before he retired in his 80s and turned the store over, which later closed and was torn down. You can bet one of the bands they couldn't even stop the Tower. Just 4 years after they appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show, the Fab Four fixed stage at the Fox Senator Theater on Pastries, which was later demolished.
Downtown to Midtown. I'm Steve Lawrence at Center Square, where whenever I go from across the pond, wants me to stop. In Sacramento, massive crowds met the now late monarch and her husband, Prince Philip, the royals receiving memorial treatment in March 1983 as part of a tour of California where they were greeted by mountain men and pioneer women before heading to the Capitol to meet lawmakers. And it's at the Capitol where an event that started in Calaveras County has now leaped. The annual Jumping Frog Jubilee, more than still celebrated in Gold Country, Hall of Fame thanks to one-time Angel Camp Townsend, Mark Twain.
Well, forget New York City, forget even Hollywood. We had so many iconic connections to right here in the Capitol region. That is such a nice look back. So many people from right in our backyard were on this big day.
We totally would.
Up next, two small words with a very big impact. Your part, our commitment to your community as we look to the next 70 years. First, ever wonder what it was like for the first female reporter at KOVR? Here's the late Susan Harris, whose chief photographer worried the somewhat salty language of his all-male staff might offend her.
Well, he was found unbeknownst to me on red light in front of him, and someone in the newsroom had caught him when I was going to back there. And he put his button and his red light flashed, so I was back there with him and I checked.
I'm Maddie Matlock, right?
Matlock is an old TV show, right?
Right. Freaking genius. There was Sean. Thank you for that cracking us out, Luke. Bam, thank you, man.
That means we think it is.
Matlock, CBS Tuesday, October 17th. CBS Community gets streaming on Paramount Plus.
It's our culture and traditions that shape us.
Represents like my family, where I come from.
We are fighters breaking barriers.
You can put that dream on the table for everybody to see.
We are dreamers creating beauty in the world.
My family is a good family. So regarding is in my DNA.
We are paving the way for change.
We as people of color have a big responsibility because we've got to be engaged in the democratic process.
CBS 13 honoring Hispanic Heritage Month.
It's not just a donation.
It's a warm blanket.
It's a body of clean water. It's a roof and a bed.
It's knowing someone cares.
It's feeling safe.
It's a today that's better than yesterday.
Every dollar you can spare helps so much more than you can imagine. Please donate now to help people affected by Hurricane Helene. Your support is urgently needed. Congrats, KOVR, on 70 years of getting answers for your viewers right there in Sacramento.
Thanks, channel such a nice message, and we really strive on getting those answers. It's not just words thrown out. We strive on making it happen each and every day. And another thing we enjoy is working for our community. Remember, now it's like Disneyland.
From telethons to toy drives to backpack giveaways, it's a real responsibility to use our platform to help people in any way we can. Many times, we work hand in hand with our advertisers to make that happen. Here's our Director of Sales, Gavin Jones.
To do it successfully, the station, K-Max and KVR have to be a huge part of it to spread the message. And then we look at, okay, are there any other of our advertisers that want to help with this? And that's how it just grows bigger and bigger. And the more money we generate to help support the project, the broader the message and bigger the message is.
We really appreciate all the work that Gavin does. So hard that he works.
And his entire team as well.
You bet. Well, okay, so much of this hour, we've been taking a look back.
We've built a lot over the last 7 years, and nothing makes us look proud than to give you a voice. And that's what we're giving you, your report.
I'm not here. For 70 years, Cable has been committed to telling the stories of the people we serve. Now, we're taking it one step further, giving you your own report.
Ashley Sharp, reporter covering Solano County here.
I'm a former councilor in San Joaquin County.
I'm Madison TV in Sacramento.
Our journalists now in fact working. Last moment.
What do you mean this week?
Very much happening around. I miss the fact that we all miss the chance to see how he work.
Dorothy Frankenstein. Dorothy.
So let's recognize them as we say goodbye to you. Our team has put together the news for the last 7 decades here on KBO. The station here in West Sacramento, where this is all of the footage off the top was a shot over the decades. And it's throughout the same cable that I referred to. We are here stuff. Stop. And that one is up.
It's okay. I look very close.
Dogs and cats weren't the only animals to get lost in this storm. This horse is still waiting for his owner to claim it. He bit me. Take the claws.
Something of medicine.
T-E-D-R-A.
T-E-D.
T-E-D-R-A.
Pedro Coffee.
It's time now for the sports report with Mike Taylor. There's something different about you tonight. I know what a new time. What is it?
No different. I'm not trick-or-treating. It's the same day with chicken. And you see all that was a big word.
As we look at our forecast, and this is the witching hour here right now in Sacramento.
month until Election Day. Tonight is the last time we'll see any of the candidates go head-to-head. The two VP candidates came into tonight's debate with something to prove.
Republican Jenny Vance and Democrat Tim Walz both hoping to take their parties to the finish line. Their live team coverage on the debate team, Margie MaryT breaking down the response. Let's first get CBS 38's Caroline Cummings in New York with tonight's big takeaways. Caroline.
Well, good evening to you both. So it was more than a 90-minute showdown here between Governor Tim Walz and Senator J.D. Vance. For the first time, these two met face-to-face, and they sparred over issues like the economy and abortion rights, trying to make their case to voters with just 35 days to go until Election Day. It didn't take long for the gloves to come off in the first and only debate between Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Ohio Senator J.D. Vance.
Governor Walz, you blame Donald Trump. Who has been the vice president for the last 3.5 years? And the answer is your running mate. Now, the person closest to them, to Donald Trump, said he's unfit for the highest office. That was Senator Vance.
Immigration was one of the big issues of the night.
We have to stop the bleeding. We have a historic immigration crisis because Kamala Harris started and said that she wanted to undo all of Donald Trump's foreign policies. Donald Trump had 4 years. He had 4 years to do this. And he promised you, America, how easy it would be. I built you a big, beautiful wall. And Mexico will pay for it. Less than 2% of that wall got built, and Mexico didn't pay a dime.
Walz targeted Vance for his false claim that Haitian immigrants were eating their neighbors' pets in Springfield, Ohio.
The consequences in Springfield were the governor had to send state law enforcement to escort kindergartners to school.
Vance objected to how the moderators, Face the Nation host Margaret Brennan, and evening news anchor Norah O'Donnell handled his response.
Thank you, Senator. We have so much to get to.
I think it's important.
We're happy the economy thing.
The rules were that you have to get a fact check, and since you're fact checking me, I think it's important to say what's actually going on.
CBS News then cut both candidates' mics. The candidates were generally respectful of each other, but they clashed over January 6th.
Did he lose the 2020 election? Tim, I'm focused on the future. Did Kamala Harris censor Americans from speaking their mind in the wake of the 2020 COVID situation? That's actually happening. That is a very non-answer.
Both men head back on the campaign trail tomorrow, hitting more battleground states. Now, a new CBS News poll found before the debate that neither of these candidates had convinced a majority of voters that they would qualify for the job. So now the real question is, do voters now have their minds made up? Did these vice presidential nominees effectively prove to them that they are qualified for the job? Tony and Marlene.
Yeah, see how it moves the needle, if at all. Caroline, thank you. Live in New York City tonight.
Our own Steve Large is breaking down tonight's debate with some local reaction for us inside politics at large. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Marley. Tony, we had the opportunity to talk to local Democrat and Republican strategists about how they felt as they watched this debate. And no surprise, California and Kamala Harris's record here did make it up to the debate stage.
The real family separation policy in this country is unfortunately Kamala Harris's wide-open southern border. She's the only person in this race who prosecuted transnational gangs for human trafficking.
Vance versus Walz and political rhetoric versus political records.
Because you've got to play whack-a-mole. Donald Trump had 4 years.
Kamala Harris's time as California Attorney General came into focus on this debate stage. California has 1.85 million undocumented immigrants. The most of any state. There are 11 million in the country. Jack Burke is a Republican strategist.
I think Californians are just as frustrated as the rest of the country with the immigration status. And I think that the Walz-Harris campaign is making a colossal blunder trying to sell people on the fact that the falsehood that they've actually made a difference.
I think the first thing that we do is we start with the criminal migrants.
J.D. Vance answered questions about Trump's mass deportation plan. The Democratic strategist Roger Salazar said danced around the issue of family separation.
One of the things that I noticed with J.D. Vance is, as he's trying to walk the line, between being an aggressive, sort of regime and not sounding like it.
The question is whether this debate is going to matter much at all.
Political columnist and author Dan Moraine believes Vance softened his image. Tim Walz came off as authentic.
I think each candidate, Vance and Walz, both passed the bar, which is
this race for the White House. This pair of vice presidential candidates survived with no moments of glory and no gas. Now, hard to believe Election Day is a month away, but even harder to believe early voting in California begins next week. In fact, less than a week from now.
Cannot believe that it's already here. As always, you were right on it, getting that local reaction. We appreciate it. Thank you. Well, now let's bring in CBS 13's political analyst, Gary Beecher.
What do you think, Gary? I mean, the best debate that might have released on it back, perhaps, I mean, because VP debates usually move the needle, right?
Well, they don't, but, to see one thing, voting's going to start here next week. It's only going in 20 states.
That's true.
And yet what's interesting today is that, I think both these candidates, proved themselves well. I mean, they didn't do any damage, and they introduced themselves to a large swath of the voters. Many people said, I don't know anything about these guys, and are they qualified to be president? We're going to get to that. The big through lines on these, I think, are going to be the obvious ones. J.D. Vance, we want to say, the last 3.5 years, hands were shook at the beginning and at the end. Spouses came up at the end. But does it move the needle? That's going to be the question. I think you hit on something really important, Rory, and that is that J.D. Vance in particular had high negatives. This one is early snap poll stuff is showing he came across much more likable. That may help his ticket with the other ones.
One last question. One of these men will be in a situation where in about months when it comes to big issues, the Middle East, tension, escalating liberal fears. How does that play into the whole who we're going to pick as the second in charge?
Well, that's where the trust factor, Tony, comes in. Because people's safety is always job one. You say the economy, you say what's happening in the Middle East right now, what's still going on in Ukraine, the China issue in the South China Sea, those seem like they're far away. But for many people, particularly the loved ones in the military, it's very close to home. So I think both of them probably tonight up the trust factor for each one, and that can only help them go down the road.
And I can see that too. When it goes to show tonight, but tonight at least, that there can be bipartisanship and people can actually disagree, but disagree kindly.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Thank you, as always. Appreciate you. We're just 5 weeks to go until we cast our ballots. CBS 13 Asia monthly election coverage. Of course, for all of it, make sure to visit our website, cbs13.com.
Out of this one today, the woman accused of leaving her dead newborn in a low-rise parking lot had her first day in court. Catherine Copeland is accused of leaving behind her full-term baby girl last Thursday. Florida police say she was still attached to the placenta. The district attorney says Copeland has been charged with the concealment of an accidental death. We talked with her aunt outside the court who says Copeland is homeless and did not believe she was pregnant.
The Placer County Net firefighters responded to a car accident that sparked a fire, and this is the aftermath. Cal Fire says 2 cars collided at the intersection of Watt and Dyer Lane. Just outside where the fire spread from the vehicle in the nearby vegetation area. Luckily, there were only minor injuries.
Also new tonight, Backville PD looking for a driver who hit a 73-year-old man while out on a walk with his dog and then just took off. Snowman and his owner were out near Browns Valley Road and Back Valley Parkway last night when they were hit. The man has a fractured hip and femur, and Snowman was able to limp off to a nearby home. Both are recovering.
So this is now news tonight at the state capitol. The Senate has announced it will convene a special session next Monday. All about fuel supply. Lawmakers are looking at legislation to help prevent spiking prices at the pump. We've listened to this song before, right? So the decision to be comes after the Senate passed a proposal. The bill will require oil companies and refineries to keep a minimum inventory of fuel when they go offline for maintenance to avoid supply shortages. Those shortages are what's to blame for higher gas prices, or so we're told. We're going to introduce some lawmakers. The Senate will take up the proposal.
on Monday.
Well, tonight, West Coast ports are trying to keep the national supply chain up and running, with tens of thousands of dock workers on strike back east.
We're back to the CBS News Heather Stowers is getting answers on the immediate impact. She's live from the Portland west of Sacramento. Certainly top of mind for people there, Hunter.
Yeah, absolutely, Tony and Marley. And the Port of West Sacramento likely will not see any direct impacts to operations here. And that's because they're what's considered a bulk port, which is one major import and one major export. Now, union workers I spoke to said they are standing in solidarity with those who are on strike. And other major West Coast ports like LA and Beach, they can become key players in avoiding disaster to consumers.
It's business as usual for longshoremen at the Port of West Sacramento. On the east and Gulf Coast, a very different story.
Those greedy companies are making billions of dollars, and they don't want to share. That's why we're out here now fighting for a contract.
45,000 union workers spanning 36 ports walking off the job and into the negotiation room, demanding higher wages and protections from automation replacing workers.
Machines don't buy clocks, machines don't buy houses, machines don't pick vacations, they don't go to restaurants. Some unique people working.
The U.S. Maritime Alliance offering to give workers a 15% raise over 6 years and keep automation limits already in place.
The playbook that they're using on lines they're going to try to use on us in our next contract negotiations.
While workers on strike right now with the ILA are separate from unions here on the West Coast, a local union president for the Port of West Sac says the impacts of an extended strike
To me, this is a kicker around the world.
will be significant
For the entire economy is going to feel the effect of this strike.
for consumers in the harvest.
We don't want to unload any ships up here that have been diverted from ILA. We'll stand solid with our union brothers and sisters out there.
The Port of West Sacramento's two major products include rice exports and cement imports. Port manager Rick Todd tells me they are not anticipating impacts to operations, but could not comment on any trickle-down effects if this strike stretches on long term.
We'll see the impact of it and what comes in the future, but it's going to be catastrophic.
Now, currently, the Port of LA is operating at about 80% capacity, and they actually prepared ahead of time for something like this to happen, specifically when it comes to those holiday goods and making sure they have them in time in anticipation for something like this. But this still could cost the American economy $4.5 billion a day if it stretches on long-term, significant impacts.
We have to hope that it doesn't, though. All right, Hunter, thank you. A lot more coming at 10. Getting a jump on jaywalking when a local city is building to keep students safe.
The massive mural marked up only hours after the paint dried. The search for the driver who faced a stop in the street.
And terrifying ride for a teen driver. What happened when his car took off when he wasn't even pressing the gas?
Israel bombarded with ballistic missiles, the latest attack in the growing fears of a right-wing war.
Let's start to October, but how long will the heat last? I've got your forecast coming up just after this. You're ready for a solution to tooth loss, but dentures disappoint and expensive implants offer you. A breakthrough option is here. Clear Choice, the #1 provider of fixed full arch dental implants in the USA, now provides implant dentures that combine the durability and security of implants with the affordability of dentures in an easy, convenient process. Confidently eat the foods you love. A permanent, more secure answer to tooth loss is within reach. Implant dentures, now from Clear Choice. Call or go online and make your appointment today.
I'm Adam Gray, and I approve this message. When LA bureaucrats tried to steal our water, Adam Gray stopped their water grab. Adam knows it's our way of life. We fought like hell to protect our water. We made sure farmers and everyone in the valley has access to it. After devastating floods in the valley, Adam cut through bureaucratic red tape to get us back on our feet. But John Hawardy, he turned his back on us. Hawardy even tried to sell our water. John Hawardy's not for us.
Rockets raining down in Israel. Israel White House now weighing the next steps. The rocket barrage comes after Israel launched deadly strikes on Iranian-backed Hezbollah in Lebanon. The escalation is sparking growing fears of an expanding war in the region.
CBS 13's Natalie Brand has more from outside the White House. Iran fired a barrage of nearly 200 ballistic missiles at Israel, Tehran's second attack on the Jewish state in close to 6 months. During a security cabinet cabinet meeting, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke about the escalating tensions, saying Iran made a big mistake tonight and will pay for it. Israel's ambassador told the United Nations Israel will decide when and how it will respond.
It will be no different. It will be painful.
An Israeli military spokesman said the country's air defenses intercepted many of the incoming missiles with help from the U.S. military and naval destroyers in the region.
President Biden reiterated the U.S. remains fully supportive of Israel, and he directed the U.S. military to help shoot down the Iranian missiles.
We're still assessing the impact. Based on what we now know, the attack turned out defeated and ineffective.
Iran says it launched the attack in retaliation for Israel's ground offensive in Lebanon and Israel's strikes on Hezbollah. And National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan called Iran's missile attack a significant escalation.
We're now going to look at what the appropriate next steps are to secure first and foremost American interests and then to promote stability to the maximum extent possible as we go forward.
The Pentagon had moved additional military support to the Middle East ahead of Tuesday's attack.
Now, right before the attack by Iran, at least 6 people were killed, several hurt in a shooting in the Tel Aviv area. Police said it was an act of terrorism.
Tonight, the death toll from Hurricane Helene has now surpassed 160 people. Teams are still searching for survivors, making rescues in the hard-hit North Carolina. The State National Guard is also delivering food and water to people who have waited days for relief. Look at these images, devastating. For some of those rescued today, they were taken to a baseball field that's now a home base to regroup and try and recover.
Grateful to be alive, grateful that everyone is safe, and trusting that everyone will make it through this.
Helene is one of the deadliest hurricanes to hit the continental United States. CBS 13 came out by teaming up with the Red Cross to help victims of Hurricane Helene. If you'd like to donate, visit our website and click on Hurricane Helene Help at the top of the page. That will take you directly to a safe page where you can donate to help the victims.
All right, time to bring in Ashley McFree now to look at our weather forecast. And I've been waiting to see if we would break that record of too many of these triple-digit days. We will surpass that record. We've actually done it now. Oh my goodness. Today marking day number 46 that we've seen. Temperatures at or above 100 degrees. It's not the record you'd want to break, but when we got through so many, it's like, why not? I know. Let me bring back you for that one. Today wasn't a very hot day, unusually hot, especially for this time of the year. We did actually see a few records today. As we take a look at what we saw earlier this afternoon, many of us made it back into the triple digits today. Stockton topped out for the high of 101, beating the old record set back in 2001 of 100 degrees. Marysville also tied their record today at 103 degrees. Sacramento got very close to the record high today, but didn't quite make it. Now, talking about that record that Marley was discussing, she was talking about our at or above 100-degree days so far this year. As we know, 2024 has been our hottest year on record for downtown Sacramento, and today marks day number 46 that we've seen temperatures at or above 100 degrees. Temperatures out there right now still holding on to some of this afternoon's warmth, with many of us in the 70s and a few 80s out there this evening. Jackson right now, a very hot spot, still holding on to the lower 90s. Temperatures compared to where we were about 24 hours ago, a lot of us running about 2 to 12 degrees warmer than this time last night. So really feeling that warmth from this afternoon, and that warmth is going to continue to stay. It all thanks to our weather pattern right now. Little to no marine layer along the coast, and we've got no delta breeze in place. Right now, a northerly wind mainly through the valley. Luckily, very light as it is a warming and dry wind, but really lowering our humidity levels through the afternoon. By the time we hit early tomorrow morning, many of us will make it back into the 60s, a few 70s across portions of the foothills, and we're going to be heating up very fast heading into tomorrow afternoon. We'll make it back into the triple digits again from the Delta up towards the foothills, with a mix of upper 90s too, even as you get closer to Grass Valley, Colfax. But tomorrow going to be slightly warmer than today, and we'll also reach for some new record highs too. And the advisory extending up and down the valley into portions of the foothills on and over to the Delta, and that's going to stay in place until tomorrow night. As far as records go, we are looking at a few more, especially as we head through the afternoon. Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, Marysville, Vacaville, all on the list tomorrow afternoon. I'm seeing a very bit, but it's not going to be until next week that we're back into the upper 80s. Marley? All right, thank you, Ashley. Coming up at 10, by blizzard, the big cat, like snow leopard, is leaving the Sacramento Zoo.
Rolling Pig grabbed some gold by thousands are joining in on a massive search in Massachusetts.
And changes at the DMV, we're getting answers on why some won't have to take the written test anymore.
Here's why you should switch from Google to DuckDuckGo on all your devices. DuckDuckGo comes with a built-in search engine like Google, but it's private and doesn't spy on your searches. And DuckDuckGo lets you browse like Chrome, but it blocks cookies and creepy ads that follow you around from Google and other companies. And there's no catch. It's free. We make money from ads, but they don't follow you around. Join the millions of people taking back their privacy by downloading DuckDuckGo on all your devices today.
Watch out, California is a Trojan horse on the November ballot. Prop 33 is not what it claims to be. It's a misleading anti-housing scheme. 33 would repeal more than 100 state housing laws, including affordable housing requirements and eviction protections. 33 would make housing harder to build and harder to find, making California's housing crisis worse. So join affordable housing choice and reject the Trojan horse. No on 33.
Make it easy with open door. Sell your home at any season or any reason. Start at opendoor.com.
Round Table Pizza has 3 delicious new shareables. Or at least, we intended them to be. Choose from creamy jalapeno poppers, cheesy mozzarella sticks, and savory Parmesan Idaho potato wedges. But there's no need to get greedy, because the Travis Coffee's apple butter gives a taste of all 3 delights. Pair it with your favorite Round Table Pizza, a feast you can share with all. Or not. Order today at roundtablepizza.com. Experience the high-tech and innocence of all electric Mercedes-Benz SUV. Visit your Mercedes-Benz dealer for special offers on select EV models.
Welcome back. Tonight, the Sacramento Zoo saying goodbye to a fan favorite. Blizzard, the snow leopard, will be gone within the next few weeks. He's off to a new zoo, but it is for important cause.
New reporter Ashley Sharp was at the zoo today as the clock is ticking for guys to see the big cat one last time.
It might be 100 degrees in Sacramento, but at the zoo, there's a blizzard daily in the forecast.
I just think he's such a handsome boy.
Blizzard, the snow leopard, that is, beloved by zoo visitors. Oh, so pretty. And now he's a snow cat, adapted to a hot climate.
He has an area in the back that's air conditioned. During the hot months, we'll bring in big things of ice to help cool him down as enrichment, but we need to give him those opportunities to be able to cool off with all that extra fluff.
But after more than a decade of calling Sacramento home, the big cat is destined for a big move.
It is definitely bittersweet to say goodbye to some of our favorites, but we know that it is for a good reason. He's going off to continue the snow leopard population.
Blizzard will be relocated to a new zoo in the next few weeks as part of a breeding recommendation.
This is going to be the last time that snow leopards will be at the Sacramento Zoo, so it's a big deal. It's a big change for the zoo.
Blizzard will be a first-time dad. In 2018, he and leopard Misha welcomed Coconut, the only snow leopard cub born at the zoo since 2006.
Snow leopards are absolutely an endangered species. It is really important for them to be represented in zoos.
It's estimated there are only 4,000 to 7,000 snow leopards left in the wild. So, as Sacramento says goodbye, it's a move that brings brighter days for big cats like Blizzard.
Rather beautiful creatures, right? So the zoo encourages people to come out soon to see Blizzard one last time.
But for the cats,
safety, they are waiting to disclose what zoo he's going to and exactly when until he arrives safely. Safe travels to Blizzard. Right. Wish you the best. Well, have you ever wanted to visit Massachusetts? Now might be the time for a trip and a scavenger hunt. The prize is a solid gold treasure created by Project Skydrop. It's worth about $26,000 and it's hidden somewhere in the woods. 7,000 people are part of this hunt. They've narrowed their search down to a 35-mile radius.
And now people are racing to figure out where the treasure is located inside that shrinking circle before it gets so small that everybody knows where it is.
Whoever finds the prize will also receive a $70,000 cash prize. But time is ticking down. The treasure's exact location will be revealed October 10th. To claim the prize, the winner has to record a video and then upload it to YouTube.
Wow. A student's curious mind has that led to the name change of his elementary school. This is down in San Bernardino County. The 7th grader, Cyrus Moss, wanted to know who O'Day Short was. And the name was on a dedicated community garden on campus. Turns out the Short family was killed in 1945 over a racial divide of where their home stood. All these decades later, Cyrus decided he wanted to bring justice to the family.
Everybody would have just forgotten about it. They would have been like if it never happened. But it did happen. So then I realized if they were going to take charge, I was going to take charge.
Wow, listen to him. Cyrus started a petition. He collected 150 signatures from the community. This month the board approved the name change, so now Randall Pepper Elementary would be O'Day Short Elementary.
Good news, you no longer have to take the written test at the DMV.
There's a caveat. You have to be 70 or older and report covering Southern County Caleb Motor. Getting answers from the DMV and you listen.
The current policy of those 70 and over automatically being required to take a written test is no longer in existence.
The California DMV says it was never the law, just a policy for seniors to take a written test. And that policy is no more, starting October 1st.
Just walk in and walk out, pretty much.
These Yuba City residents took a trip to renew their licenses today and were pleasantly surprised when they didn't have to take a written test.
It was great. Yes, because I didn't have to go stand in line and wait to take the test and all that, so it was a lot easier.
Well, would you be punished by having to go to check all the time?
The California DMV estimates by changing the policy, it will eliminate 50,000 people per month from having to come into the office. However, vision exams and updating photos will still require a visit. The DMV says they haven't found any data supporting a written test makes already good drivers better.
If someone's been driving for 15, 30 or more years and has a good driving record, there's no reason to assume that they don't know the rules of the road.
Honestly, that does make me a little nervous.
The California DMV says those with bad driving records, people who have points from accidents, DUIs, or suspended licenses will still need to take the test. New drivers and drivers new to California will also still be required to take it. But some California drivers aren't so sure doing away with the written test, even for good drivers, is a good idea.
I do think it's a little insane. I think we need to have that written test at the end of the day. DMV tells Caleb it's been working to modernize in the last 5 years, and this is just one of those latest efforts.
The parking situation at Sac International is going to get worse before it gets any better. A closure and construction started today on the hourly parking lot. Comes as Sac International works to build a brand new state-of-the-art parking garage for Terminal B. The new garage is part of the airport's $1.3 billion SM Forward capital program.
It's going to be about 18 months to 2 years project. That's going to give us an addition of 500 parking spots in the garage.
In total, the program is bringing 6 additional expansions, including a pedestrian walkway, a new terminal exit road, a ground transportation center, consolidated rental car center, and a lot more. A deadly year on Sacramento County roads with more than 120 people killed in crashes so far this year. Well, now one city is taking a new step to keep kids safe while walking to school.
In report covering Sacramento County, Madison Katie joins us in studio today to answer about new efforts outside of Folsom High School.
Yeah, Folsom High School is one of the biggest campuses in our region. There are more than 2,900 students, but there's concern that some of these kids could get hit by cars right in front of their own school. A busy street, crowded with kids, and not everyone's using the crosswalk.
It's rather chaotic. Kids cut diagonally across the street.
There goes the road.
Then again,
This is the scene at Folsom High School as classes let out, with hundreds of students crossing Iron Point Road.
This is a very high-speed roadway.
Zach Bosch with the city of Folsom says some students jaywalk across these lanes of traffic into the path of oncoming cars.
They would cross wherever they felt was most convenient, and that could be in between the blocks. Certainly not an area we want pedestrians crossing.
Folsom police say one student was even hit by a car along this road in 2021 and received minor injuries.
So really, this school is not well designed for picking up kids after school or dropping them off in the morning.
To prevent these dangerous crossings, the city is building a 5-foot-tall iron fence in the center median, approximately a quarter-mile long. Traffic engineers say the new barrier will stop students from cutting across the road outside of the crosswalk.
So definitely height that someone cannot easily jump over.
Well, I think anything to prevent jaywalking and for the safety of the children is a good idea.
The new fence will be similar to this one along Greenback Lane in Citrus Heights near San Juan High School. It will cost more than $180,000 with money coming from Measure A, traffic safety funds.
The pedestrian safety aspect of it is paramount for us.
A new ironclad plan to prevent crashes on Iron Point Road.
That's the whole thing, is that they see this fence, it becomes too much of a deterrent, and they cross at the intersection.
The city will begin installing the new fence next month, and it should be completed by the end of the year. Something to look out for.
yeah, anything that could prevent the tragedies, absolutely.
Thank you, Madison. Tonight, a teen is facing charges in an attack at a Blaze Pizza restaurant in Roseville. Police say on September 19th, 18-year-old Igor Dragon saw a pride flag at the restaurant, threw it on the floor, and made a homophobic slur. Investigators say he later came back with 2 other people, started a fight with employees, and sent one to the hospital. Dragon has been charged with felony assault and a hate crime. Police are still investigating the 2 other suspects.
Investigators in South King County trying to figure out the limit of a body being found today. And the sheriff's office says workers found the body this morning around 9:30. This was west of Lodi near Sycamore Slough. Detectives have taken up the investigation. If you know anything about it, please give the sheriff's office a call.
120 people. That's how many people one attorney says he has lined up with allegations against Sean Diddy Combs. The attorney says the accusations come from men and women who all plan to file civil suits against the music mogul. The Houston-based attorney said those individuals contacted them after claiming to be victimized by Combs and others. Combs has pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking charges and is behind bars awaiting trial in New York.
Heads up on a traffic advisory in the city of Galto after a big lane shift happening this month. Here's what you need to know. Safety cones will be in to taper traffic on Carolean Boulevard. Northbound traffic will be directed west on Carolean Boulevard at the intersection of Vintage Oak and Ambrosia Way. We'll return to normal on the intersection of Walnut Avenue. Southbound lanes will begin to taper north of Posey Road. A mural took months of planning and stopped the face just hours after it was done.
Your reporter covering San Joaquin County, Esteban Reynoso, has a reaction to the major foul.
A mural dedicated to Stockton, the ports, and the community around the team defaced after someone did burnouts and donuts over the mural.
I was in shock. You know, I felt sad more than mad because I thought to myself, why would you make somebody want to do that? Why would you want to mess it up?
Kiana Doris Carter is the artist behind this mural. She and her team of volunteers cut the painting of the Stockton Ports logo on Van Buren and Fremont Streets, done in just 2 days' time after months of planning.
People were wanting to help. They're like excited about it.
But it didn't last long. Early Monday morning, less than 6 hours after the mural was complete, someone defaced it. One neighbor who did not want to appear on camera heard the burnouts.
It was hard. Well, man, this is suck, but like, we put the hard work into this, and to see this, it's degrading, man.
They wanted to uplift the city and community with artwork.
The downtown Stockton Alliance chairman, CBS 13, they paid for the mural themselves using no taxpayer dollars, spending $15,000 in private funds for paint, labor, and road closures. There is video of the creating this mural. Stockton police do have it and are investigating who is responsible. Despite the markings and burnouts, Kia wants to put a positive spin on this.
Those marks can be fixed. Everything can be fixed. There's nothing that can't be undone. And a lot of people reaching out to me saying, hey, when you fix it, I'll come help. Like, even people want to come help.
Keep a positive attitude. That's what punishment the office behind the mural. wants to see whoever did that damage to go out and try to fix it.
Well, today marks 7 years since this country's deadliest mass shooting. 60 people killed at a Vegas music festival. You remember when the lone gunman opened fire from a hotel room as thousands of people attended a country music festival on the Strip. At Sunrise Remembrance Ceremony today, there was a moment of silence. The sheriff then talked, saying everyone is still haunted by the events of that night.
Well, I cannot speak on behalf of the victims' families or the survivors. I can tell you why so many first responders are haunted by 1 October. It's because we could not help everyone that night. Our job is to save lives. I know for me personally, I'll always be haunted by lives we cannot save.
Another 500 people were hurt that night. Vegas officials vowed to complete a permanent memorial to the victims and survivors by the 10th anniversary of the attack.
Police will come here at 10. The teen driver caught up in a runaway car. What happened when he called 911 because he couldn't stop his car from picking up speed.
And an update to that filthy mess at Folsom Lake. We're getting answers on the cleanup efforts after sewage seeped into the water. Ashley?
And Sunny Diaz heading into the start of October. How long will this heat last? About the details coming up in the forecast next.
CBS 13 News, weather, and live stream all in one place on the CBS News app. Download it free today.
What is the balance that you are trying to strike here?
Getting you answers over the last 20 years.
Federal agents working inside your business. This is not to the governor of opposition.
Yeah, politics at large with your political reporter, Steve Large.
We're parents and business owners. We work hard.
Washington politicians are feminists.
Inflation. Families pushed to the brink, choosing gas or groceries, housing or healthcare. I'll tell you what I am choosing. I'm choosing change.
Kevin Limpa, veteran, getting things done.
I'm Kevin Lincoln, and I approve this message because getting things done is exactly why I'm running for Congress. Working together will make life better, not harder for our valley.
Stand up to the police eye care should be affordable. Right now, for only $135, you get 2 pairs of progressives plus all this. All that costs over $200 to everyone else. Book your eye exam today. Stand up. Easy's not a thing. Welcome to Too Good to Get. Can you guess how much 2 pairs of progressives, a free eye exam, and anti-glare pencil plate will cost instead of only $135? Wow. If you're so good, everyone's movements. Book your eyes in and stand up today.
Getting answers starts with getting the big picture, covering all the angles, and getting closer to the story than anyone else. Trouble 13 on the CBS 13 News, sponsored by Del Rio and Caraway Injury Attorneys.
Thanks, Brother Warrior.
We get it. It's hard to say goodbye to your car. AutoNation will make it easy. We'll buy your car for top dollar. With over 25,000 used vehicles available, AutoNation can help you say hello to your next car.
I'm Adam Gray, and I approve this message.
When LA bureaucrats tried to steal our water, Adam Gray stopped their water grab. Adam knows it's our way of life. He fought like hell to protect our water. He made sure farmers and everyone in the valley has access to it. After devastating floods in the valley, Adam cut through bureaucratic red tape to get us back on our feet. The John Ford, he turned his back on us. Before he even tried to sell our water, John Ford, he found for us.
Yeah, you heard that right. One state trooper in Minnesota gave the command for a teen in a runaway car to hit his vehicle. It was a last-ditch effort to stop his speeding vehicle going about 113 miles an hour. The teen called 911 after his car kept going faster and faster.
Hey, this thing is accelerating. My foot's not making gas. My stomach to go. I'm going to die tonight.
How scary would that be? I mean, especially when you haven't even been driving that long, you know, the car won't stop. After 20 minutes trying to stop and get ahead of the car, the deputy made the call. That teen is home safe tonight, thank goodness. A corpse flower now on display at Sac State.
Yes.
Smell it? It's an Irish smell. It's one of the world's rarest flowers. This is what they look like. Look at her. Oh, yeah. She's like, I gotta go.
It's so pretty, though.
Yeah, pretty stinky. Let's take a picture of it. This is one that was on display somewhere else earlier in the year. Just a location park, probably. The flower releases a strong scent that smells like rotting flesh and like your teenager's shoes that have been out after all day at soccer practice.
So then why do they want to go and smell it?
Because it's a once-in-a-chance opportunity market. Sac State says their flower is getting ready to bloom soon. It's on display now through Thursday near Sequoia Hall. Follow your nose.
Yes. I'm rushing over there to smell that nasty smell.
I think we need to hang out there one or Thursday or whatever.
Really? What did I do to you?
No, I just want to see the reaction.
We'll stay right there, straight out of 10, helping homeowners protect their property. We're going to answer on wildfire legislation just signed by the governor.
But first is triple-digit heat enough to hit records. What is it going to look like? What is it going to look like? When is it going to end? Who's going to tell us?
Where?
What do you want to know? We have it all covered for you from the personal forecast.
Then coming up at 11, pollution and poor brain health. The new study out of UC Davis showing how kids are most at risk.
First cup, last bite, family days, date night. Our window systems allow you to clearly see every moment in between.
Think of that. Trust. Maybe it's your mom, the kids next door, or even you. 15 million Californians have health care because of Medicare. But budget cuts have left patients waiting months just to see a doctor. That's why voting yes on Prop 35 is so important. It guarantees healthcare funding that can't be redirected. So we train more healthcare workers and keep hospitals and ERs open. Yes on 35 protects Medi-Cal for the ones you care about the most.
At Sutter, caring never stops. Our over 220 locations are close by when you need them most. Our doctors are here to listen and answer your questions. And our entire team stays dedicated to caring for more than 3.4 million Californians and counting. Nationally recognized expertise. A whole team on your team. Sutter Health.
Sometimes life is a funny way of turning sideways. Like when your kid decides they're a professional stylist the morning your picture is. Or when your to-do list isn't quite done. Which is right in, right? Or when you're sure you have everything you need, but you actually need one more thing. Everything you need. Yeah, life never really goes the way you plan, but that's why we're here. It means more at Rite Aid.
Every day, we're working to make California's energy system safer and stronger than the day before. Whether it's deploying new technologies like artificial intelligence for faster fire detection and response, undergrounding more lines in high fire risk areas because it's less expensive in the long run, and installing stronger poles and covered power lines. At PG&E, we are building a stronger, safer, and more affordable energy system for your community.
These white tires all across California. They also provide a bird's eye view of just how Earth is taking them. I'm Jessica Morse, and as Deputy Secretary for Wildfire Resilience, I've started a nation-leading program to protect communities and lives from megatires. Host Kevin Kiley, he voted against billions of dollars for fire prevention projects, all while insurance companies fund his campaign to jack up our rates. I approve this message because in Congress, your safety will be my top priority.
Our window systems, your life. Get two stock days deal. $200 on doors and $100 on windows. 100% financing available.
Simply the best. Trust. Northwest. Medical study of research on new measures to improve standards for defensible space. Senator Christopher Dodd wrote the wildfire legislation. It sets more stringent standards for new construction and home updates with the creation of an ember-resistant zone between 5 and 30 feet of the home.
All right, let's bring in meteorologist Ashley Nagrigan out to look at our weather forecast. And another hot one out there today. Another hot one out there today. Another one on the way tomorrow. Another first alert action day. We were talking about this still right October. And wait, it's fall. San few low 80s, but closer to the foothills are warm spots out there this evening, with a few reaching for the upper 80s right now. Overall tonight, temperatures will be cooling off, but tonight will be an overall warmer night compared to the last couple. Many of us only ending up in the mid-60s as we head into early tomorrow morning, and a few spots across the foothills will be cooling down into the 70s overnight. As we take a look at tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be another hot one on the way, and temperatures actually slightly warmer than where we were earlier this afternoon. Many of us will make it back into the triple digits: 102 in Sacramento, 103 in Davis, 103 in Yuba City, and 102 in Tulsa. As you get closer to Stockton, Modesto, temperatures really heating up tomorrow afternoon, especially across Stanislaus County. Modesto reaching for a high of 102, Turlock sitting at 104, Stockton tomorrow at 103, and Lodi at 104. Closer to the foothills in Sierra, Truckee, South Lake Tahoe, the cool spots out there tomorrow in the 70s and 80s, a mix of 90s and triple digits as you head further down the hill. Roseville tomorrow sitting at 103. So the heat can be felt no matter where you are tomorrow afternoon, even as you get closer to the coastline. The Bay Area will be quite toasty again tomorrow, with a few record highs possible. And we'll have the chance of reaching a few records here within the valley, across portions of the foothills, and even across the Delta too. Our heat advisory going to stay posted up until tomorrow evening, and that's going to continue for portions of the valley, foothills, Delta, and as you get closer to the Bay Area, extensive heat warnings are still in effect. Our high pressure getting us all of this heat the last couple of days. It's going to budge a little bit by the end of the week, moving off slightly towards the east, but overall temperatures are going to stay above average for the long term, even as we look ahead to early next week. So your 7-day forecast looking quite toasty. Our hottest days come to an end as we get closer to Friday, but still in the upper 90s heading into the upcoming weekend, even by Sunday, mid-90s on the way. So plenty of sunshine, staying warm for any outdoor activities that you do have going on this weekend. But looking ahead to next week, there is some relief in sight. Temperatures cooling off into low 90s by Monday, upper 80s by Tuesday. But it's going to be a full 7 days until we get to that bit of a cool down in the horizon. That's Check Your Forecast. Jake, over to you.
Now, Xfinity Sports Zone.
Happy Tuesday, sports fans. Jake Gaten here. The Sacramento Kings kicking off training camp at the Golden One Center today. The guys saying the first practice energy and good pace. The team looks to incorporate new star guard DeMar DeRozan into the fold. For DeMar, he was impressed with how connected the team already is just after one day, while De'Aaron Fox was impressed with how fast Debo has picked up the Kings' steam.
Yeah, no, I'm the new guy here, pretty much, but it's you just see everybody doing already, I'm trying to just come in and hype them even more.
The Giants officially introducing Buster Posey today. It's their new president of baseball operations. The catcher agreed to a 3-year deal in his first half. Sets up for bring back NL Cy Young winner Blake Snell. Buster's approach will be simple: to put the best players on the field each day while relying on analytics and scouts that piece together a complete roster.
The winning's great, and ultimately that's our goal, is to be a playoff team every year and compete for a championship. But I think just the overall big picture of being a part of something that's bigger than yourself was really appealing.
Somebody like Buster asked for what we give it to him, and it's meant so much to this community, to this baseball team, the organization, the city, all the above. So that's what I'm excited about, being able to work with a guy that's had that type of success here in this organization.
And finally, according to ESPN, the Raiders have informed other NFL teams that they would consider trading 3-time All-Pro wide receiver Devontae Adams for a package deal that would include a second-round pick and additional draft compensation. According to NFL insider Jordan Schultz, Adams has been considering a trade request for weeks and has a few trade destinations he would prefer. One of them would be the New York Jets, and a reunion with Aaron Rodgers. A lot to go into this, guys. According to sources, Antonio Pierce liked a comment about Instagram about possibly trading Devontae. Not really sure what's going on here. Just seems like a little drama.
We don't need drama. We need the Raiders just to
win.
To do it. Right.
No drama. Thanks, Jake.
Pumped up with the pumpkin patch. We have sneaky science. All the pumpkins in Dixon. There.
Big week. The Contessa Ina Garden season. Good food.
Bear. Get the right RV at the right price. Right now, this new Thor Magnitude is newly discounted at $117,000. La Mesa Red Bear, the world's largest motorhome dealer. Visit LaMesaRV.com today.
Gas, groceries, housing. Families are struggling and too many are lost hope. Portia Middleton's economic plan will make things even worse. Middleton already tried to raise taxes by $12 million. Voters soundly rejected her plan. Now as Gavin Newsom's hand-picked candidate for Senate, she's promised to try again. To raise taxes on middle-class families. Higher taxes, higher costs. Saying no to Portia Middleton.
Christine Vendanza, Sam Shane, you can drive to work. On your way home, Sacramento news voices you can trust. On KFBK News Radio 93.1 FM, 15:30 AM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. This is CBS Ion Community.
In California, earthquakes, fires, or other natural disasters can happen without warning. It's important for everyone, especially older adults, to be prepared. Make sure you have a solid emergency plan and practice it regularly. For helpful tips and resources, go to aging.ca.gov or call 800-510-2020.
Sponsored by the California Department of Aging, your connection to aging resources.
I'm Kevin Kyle, and I approve this message.
Have you seen Jessica Morse's attack ad? It's not true. Kevin Kiley never supported or voted for a national abortion ban. One thing is true. Jessica Morse can't tell the truth. The Sacramento Bee said that she stretches the truth. A judge caught her trying to deceive voters about her job title. Even fellow Democrats say she has a difficult history of telling the truth. Jessica Morse, don't believe her. Don't trust her.
At La Mesa Red Bear, get the right RV at the right price. Right now, this new Ford Dazzle is newly discounted to just $494 per month. La Mesa Red Bear, the world's largest motorhome dealer. Visit LaMesaRV.com today.
The links here will be live after the vice presidential debate. Tune in to find out that Tim Walz whittles his own lectern.
Right tonight on CBS.
Welcome back. Turns out wealthy millennials are leaving the state of California. 9,000 of them have already left. That's according to SFGate, a study of tax return data for 2021 and 2022. Households between the ages of 26 and 45 making more than $200,000 a year. Experts say the cause could be the high cost of living, coupled with many businesses leaving California. However, there are plenty of caveats to this. California is the largest state by population. For starters, meaning there's likely to be more inflow and outflow than other places.
Many dream of going to the moon, but very few make it. So scientists are in New York deciding to bring the moon to Earth. Well, there's a training facility called Luna that's considered the world's most accurate copy of the lunar landscape. Down its dust and 900 tons of volcanic rock. It's the size of 3 tennis courts, has a gravity offload system, and a frozen deep-floor area that allows astronauts to drill for ice. We'll have more on this in The Answer tomorrow night on Primetime Sacramento. It's interesting.
It is pretty interesting.
Winter's next Olympics coming over.
Better air means better brain. Look at the answers of UC Davis research showing how air quality impacts brain development in children. Also uncovered, a local manufacturer may have put environmental violations. Details on the labor facility's $300,000 settlement with the EPA. Plus, Mexico makes history. Details on the country's first ever female president.
Grand Cayman. Perfect for a millionaire venture capitalist from San Francisco. It's where Josh Harper stashed his cash. You know, the Caymans, where shady businessmen avoid taxes. While he was stashing his cash, Harper raised taxes on all of us. Over $10 billion in tax revenue. Tax haven for Josh Harper. Tax increases for all of us. Josh Harper, just another shady politician. The NRCC is responsible for content this advertising.
Papa Murphy's everyday value lineup is big savings on big flavors. Like our new shredded pepperoni, crumbled sausage, and classic cheese pizzas. All for the small price of $8.99 each. Order now at papamurphys.com.
more devices and apps.
But our gateways are engineered to handle hundreds.
So not only will they work today, they'll also work tomorrow.
That's rudimentary.
Thanks, buddy. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Power all your devices with fast, reliable Xfinity Internet for just $19.99 a month. And that's how to get a free 5G phone. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff.
Mrs. Doubtfire, the smash hit musical comedy based on the iconic film starring two-time Tony-nominated Robert Ford as Mrs. Doubtfire. It's the surefire hit musical of the season. Coming to St. Pat, October 8th through 13th. Get tickets at BroadwaySacramento.com.
I'm Josh Harker, and I approve this intersection.
Homicides and property crimes are. But Mayor Kevin Lincoln is riding above it all. Instead of tackling homelessness, Lincoln wasted over $3 million of our tax dollars on corporate suites at the sports arena, and voted for $75 million more to renovate City Hall, including his own office. No wonder Lincoln's council was under a grand jury investigation. Kevin Lincoln lives the high life at our expense.
Car accidents. Get Bird. 1-800-400-BIRD.
Well, the weather may not say October, but the activities do. The world's largest gourmet is now open and kicking off its 2024 season on September 21st in Dixon. Visitors can take a tour of the massive pumpkin patch and hay rides. Kids will be able to experience the hay castle, corn bath. Corn bath, that sounds interesting. Pricing is set at $5 per activity. Kids that are one are free. Pumpkin patch is open every day from 9 to 8 until the season ends.
Out of Seattle, where a couple of pint-sized porch pirates were caught on camera stealing from a neighbor. Only blurred their faces because they're so young. The man who took the video says the kids tore through the packages outside a nearby building and scattered the contents. Laundry detergent and over-the-counter medicine all over the ground.
Well, I feel like I want to prove those videos to the social media. I want their parents to see, not really to punish them. I just want their parents to lead them to the right way to grow up, to be successful, to be a good person.
Yeah, wait until mom and dad see that one. The man says he filed a police report. Officers are working to try and identify the little thieves. An update on the raw sewage spill leaking into Folsom Lake after a pipe burst in El Dorado Hills Sunday.
Government Irrigation District told CBS 13 they estimate this spills approximately 18,100 gallons and said they were able to capture about half of that amount from the affected areas. Test results for Browns Ravine are still pending. We've done by closely monitoring the situation. We'll stay on top of it.
Giving answers. This is CBS 13 News. Always streaming on CBS News Sacramento.
Donald Trump, who has been the vice president for the last 3.5 years, and the answer is you're right, mate.
Donald Trump had 4 years. He had 4 years to do this, and he promised you, America, how easy it would be. I'll build you a big, beautiful wall.
We watched it right here tonight. Senator J.D. Vance and Governor Tim Walz facing off in the first and only vice presidential debate with only 34 days left until the election. Thanks for staying with us at 11. I'm Martha Gintry.
And I'm Tony Lopez. Let's get to it. Both candidates came into the debate with something to prove, certainly.
CBS's Caroline Cummings joining us live from New York where the debate happened.
Caroline, J.D. Vance and Tim Walz shared a couple of tense moments tonight after going at each other's running mates multiple times, but it was relatively calm. What was the overall tone that you picked up on the debate stage tonight? We lost your microphone for a second. Apologize, Caroline. Okay, well, what do you think we can get that going if we can? No worries.
It's been a night. I know you've had a lot to keep an eye on and a lot to keep track of.
So let's get back to the issue. No worries. It happens. It happens to all of us. As Marley said, it's been a long night. So again, we go back to the tone, and it was relatively civil on both sides.
Yeah, that's right. It was really relatively affable on both sides of the coin here. They really dove deeply into policy debates, substantive policy debates here. And so they did have some moments where there was really tense exchanges, a lot of bickering, but there was actually a lot of moments where they said, I agree with you on certain things. But then when they got to the finer details of those policy points, they, stalled a little bit there. But there were some zingers.
paid family leave. How are both parties feeling about their candidates' performance, though?
I think we lost contact with her. All right, Caroline, thank you. Side there, live from New York, on the debate. So let's get some insight from our local analyst, Gary Dieter. He joins us tonight, giving us perspective on what we saw.
And here he is with the key takeaways for Californians.
For Californians, they're obviously asking the big three questions. What about gas prices? What about food prices? What about housing prices? That's what Californians say they're most scared about. Now, interestingly, J.D. Vance took a page out of a former California governor's playbook, who also became president, Ronald Reagan. Are you better off now than you were 3.5 years ago? That was kind of the same tonight. Whereas Tim Walz, supporting Harris, of course said, well, of course you are. Because, hey, she inherited the end of the COVID crisis, and inflation has come down. It's going to be interesting to see, with election day 5 weeks from now, which of those lines people believe going forward.
Yeah, definitely will be. All right, thank you, Gary. Our coverage continues with our own Steve Large breaking down tonight's debate with some local reaction.
In tonight's politics, and Waters are looking at how California and Kamala Harris's record made it on the debate stage tonight.
The real family separation policy in this country is unfortunately Kamala Harris's wide open southern border. She's the only person in this race who prosecuted transnational gangs for human trafficking.
Vance versus Walz and political rhetoric versus political records.
Because you've got to play whack-a-mole. Donald Trump had 3 years.
Kamala Harris's time as California Attorney General came into focus on this debate stage. California has 1.85 million undocumented immigrants, the most of any state. There are 11 million in the country. Tom Berg is a Republican strategist.
I think Californians are just as frustrated as the rest of the country with the immigration status. And I think that the Walz-Harris campaign is making a colossal blunder trying to sell people on the fact that the falsehood that they've actually made a difference.
I think the first thing that we do is we start with the criminal migrants.
J.D. Vance answered questions about Trump's mass deportation plan. The Democratic strategist Roger Salazar said danced around the issue of family separation.
One of the things that I noticed with J.D. Vance is, as he's trying to walk the line, between being, an oppressive, sort of regime, and not sounding like it.
The question is whether this debate is going to matter much at all.
Political columnist and author Dan Moran believes Vance softened his image when Tim Walz came off as authentic.
I think each candidate, Vance and Walz, both passed a bar which is sort of medium low.
The final debate in this race for the White House was Aaron vice presidential candidates surviving with no moments of glory and no gas. Steve, thanks for the election day is a month away, but early voting begins in California next week.
You can hear there the defensive barrage of missiles raining down on Israel. This now Iran's second attack on the Jewish state in close to 6 months. Tonight, Israel and the White House are weighing their next steps.
Already, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was saying in the cabinet meeting that Iran made a big mistake, saying, quote, it will pay for it. The attack comes after Israel launched deadly strikes on Iranian-backed Hezbollah in Lebanon, heightening fears of an expanding war that's been fear in the narrative for a while now. Israeli military leaders today said many of the missiles were intercepted with help from the U.S. military and naval destroyers in the region.
Now we're going to look at what the appropriate next steps are to secure first and foremost American interests and then to promote stability to the maximum extent possible as we go forward.
So the Pentagon has moved additional military support to the Middle East ahead of today's attack.
Today, the Jewish Federation of the Sacramento region issued a statement on that attack, saying in part, quote, our region's Jewish community stands united in solidarity with the people of Israel and the brave men and women of the IDF as they defend themselves from these attacks. We pray for their safety.
Let's bring things closer to home. New Orleans, we're learning a shooter is on the loose at PD, responding to a shooting around 7:30 tonight in the area you're looking at right there, Detroit Boulevard near the Morris Creek Light Rail Station. Tells a man was shot, taken to the hospital, is expected to survive. Officers searched the area but were not able to find the suspect. 4.0 magnitude earthquake rattling the Central Valley. Call your friends in Fresno because that's where it hit. Western Fresno County. 6:30 tonight, followed by a 3.4 magnitude quake. About 20 minutes later, no reports of any damage.
Meteorologist Ashley McCree joining us now with your first alert forecast. Hi, Ashley. Hi, guys. Today, a very hot day to kick off the first day of October. Many of us got back into the upper 90s, triple digits out there today. We're getting about 10 to 20 degrees above the average. As we take a look at things right now, many of us are still quite warm out there this evening with temperatures in the 70s and 80s. Our warmest spots out there tonight, mainly up across the foothills, really still holding on to some of that afternoon warmth. But overall, as we head towards the day tomorrow, we've got more heat in the forecast. Heat alerts will stay up through tomorrow evening. Heat advisory extending all across portions of the valley into the foothills and delta, and even as we get closer to the Bay Area, excessive heat warnings are in effect. Heading into tomorrow, another first alert action day on the way as temperatures get back into the triple digits. We could see a few records again tomorrow. Moderate to major heat risk on the way. Got the details coming up. Margaret? All right, we'll look for that. Thank you, Ashley. Tonight, thousands of people are homeless after their own homes were wiped out by Hurricane William.
The devastating trail of destruction has left at least 160 people dead, and that number, sadly, is expected to go up. In North Carolina, the National Guard has been conducting rescues, trying to pull survivors from one rubble, but also bodies of people killed in the storm.
Working together to open more nature routes to push supplies forward while repairing roads, utilities, and communications.
Tomorrow, President Biden will travel to North Carolina to meet with first responders and visit the state's Emergency Operations Center. If you'd like to help, CBS 13 and KMAX 31 teaming up with the Red Cross to help victims of Hurricane Helene. Want to donate? Just visit our website, click on Hurricane Helene Help at the top of the page. It'll take you directly to the same page where you can donate to help the victims out.
Tonight, West Coast ports trying to keep the national supply chain up and running with tens of thousands of dock workers on strike in the East.
Mayor Savage getting interest on the immediate impacts from the Port of West Sacramento.
It's business as usual for longshoremen at the Port of West Sacramento. On the East and Gulf Coast, a very different story.
Those creative companies are making billions of dollars, and they don't want to share. That's why we're out here now fighting for a contract.
45,000 union workers spanning 36 ports walking off the job and into the negotiation room, demanding higher wages and protections from automation replacing workers.
Machines don't buy cars, machines don't buy houses, machines don't pick vacations, they don't go to restaurants. So you need people working.
The U.S. Maritime Alliance offering to give workers a 50% raise over 6 years and keep automation limits already in place.
The playbook that they're using on us, they're going to try to use on us in our next contract negotiations.
While workers on strike right now with the ILA are separate from unions here on the West Coast, a local union president for the Port of West Sac says the impacts of an extended strike
To me, this is a kick around the world.
will be significant,
The entire economy is going to feel the effect of this strike.
with consumers hit the homes.
We want unloading ships up here that has been diverted from ILA. We'll stand solid with our union brothers and sisters out there.
The Port of West Sacramento's two major products include rice exports and cement imports. Port manager Rick Toth tells me they are not anticipating impacts to operations, but could not comment on any trickle-down effects if this strike stretches on long term.
We will see the impact of it when it comes in the future, but it's going to be catastrophic.
Pretty strong words there. Right now, the Port of LA is operating at about 80% capacity, and Carpenter's made months ahead of time, so specifically for holiday goods, because that's coming up soon, to minimize disruptions to customers.
On that, let's take a look at SAC International, where the parking situation is only going to get worse before it gets any better. Construction started today on the hourly parking lot. The closure of that lot comes as SAC International works to build a brand new state-of-the-art parking garage for Terminal B. The new garage is part of the airport's $1.3 billion SM Forward capital program.
It's going to be about an 18-month continuing project. That's going to give us an initial 5,500 parking spots and a garage local to this terminal.
So be patient in the long run, it's built to help. In total, the program is bringing 6 additional expansions, including a pedestrian walkway, a new terminal exit road, a ground transportation center, Concourse B expansion, Terminal A expansion, and a consolidated rental car center.
Por primera vez, llegamos las mujeres a conducir los destinos de nuestra hermosa nación.
Historic day in Mexico City today. Claudia Sheinbaum was sworn in as the new first ever female president of Mexico. 62-year-old scientist turned politician won the election in June, nearly 60% of the vote. In her speech today, Sheinbaum said that with her arrival, come all the women who have struggled in anonymity to make their way in Mexico. Sheinbaum is not inheriting an easy situation. Drug cartels have strengthened their hold over much of Mexico. Her first trip as president will be to floodstring at Acapulco, where the lead pulled through. Stay right there on Lumen 11, dangerous even at acceptable levels. The new study at UC Davis showing the population most affected by air pollutants.
And road safety roadblocks now outside of Folsom School, the effort to keep students safe in and out of school.
And saying goodbye to the old pal, a absolute favorite, hit the road and go somewhere else. How long until he's gone?
Plus, a community mural defaced in Stockton. Police now searching for the person responsible for trashing the art hours after it was just painted. We're back in 90 seconds.
Christine Mendoza, Saturday. Drive to work, KOPF. On your way home, Sacramento. News voices you can trust. KFPK News Radio 93.1 FM, 1530 AM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Red Hawk Casino is taking entertainment to a whole new level with the Apex event. Kart racing, bowling, golf, virtual reality. Every day is played out. The Apex at Red Hawk Casino, official casino partners of the Sacramento Kings.
Democrats and Republicans fighting every day, getting nothing done but forcing us to pay. And their bills, they are rising. Electric gas and food, fighting politicians, tossing with the never-ending feuds of Obama, John Duarte. All the fighting politicians have done. He opened with the conference to help with everyone. Congressman Duarte has a better way. Party extremists are too intense to solve the country's problems. Just bring back common sense.
I'm Congressman John Duarte, and I approve this message. The Toyota Sports Sunday. Sunday nights at 11:30 on CBS 13. Sponsored by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, with more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
On Star TV, justice is served every day. Watch the close of major crimes, Rosalia Dials Elementary, Cold Case, and more on Broadcast Channel 13.2. And now on DirecTV Channel 84. Also on these other providers.
Welcome back. Alert says Sean Diddy Combs may soon face new allegations from dozens of men and women. Houston-based attorney said his firm has been retained by at least 120 people. He said those individuals contacted them after claiming to be victimized by Combs and others. Combs has pleaded not guilty, as you know, to sex trafficking charges. The Beltline bar is awaiting trial.
Well, tonight, a teen is facing charges in an attack at a Blaze Pizza restaurant in Roseville. Police say on September 19th, 18-year-old Igor Dragun saw a pride flag at the restaurant, threw it on the floor, and made a homophobic slur. Investigators say he then came back later with two other people, started a fight with employees, and sent one to the hospital. He's now been charged with felony assault and a hate crime. Police are still investigating the other two suspects. Tonight, one local city is taking new steps to keep kids safe while they're walking to school.
New reporter covering Sacramento County Madison TV is getting answers on the new efforts outside Folsom High School.
A busy street, crowded with kids, and not everyone's using the crosswalk.
It's rather chaotic. Kids cut diagonally across the street.
Then again,
This is the scene at Folsom High School as classes let out, with hundreds of students crossing Iron Point Road.
This is a very high-speed roadway.
Zach Bosch with the city of Folsom says some students jaywalk across these lanes of traffic into the path of oncoming cars.
They would cross wherever they felt was most convenient, and that could be in between the blocks. Certainly not an area we want pedestrians crossing.
Folsom police say one student was even hit by a car along this road in 2021 and received minor injuries.
Really, this school is not well designed for picking up kids after school. We're dropping them off in the morning.
To prevent these dangerous crossings, the city is building a 5-foot-tall iron fence in the center median, approximately a quarter-mile long. Traffic engineers say the new barrier will stop students from cutting across the road outside of the crosswalk.
So there's a height that someone cannot easily jump over.
Well, I think anything to prevent jaywalking and for the safety of the children is a good idea.
The new fence will be similar to this one along Greenback Lane in Citrus Heights near San Juan High School. It will cost more than $180,000 with money coming from Measure A, traffic safety funds.
The pedestrian safety aspect of it is paramount for us.
A new ironclad plan to prevent crashes on Iron Point Road.
That's the hope. Is that they see this fence, that it becomes too much of a deterrent, and they cross at the intersection.
The city will start installing the new fence next month, and it should be finished by the end of the year.
Moving on, the EPA today announced a $300,000 settlement with a local manufacturer for environmental violations. EPA says J.R. Simplot Company, which has a fertilizer manufacturing facility in Lathrop, violated multiple federal acts after failing to immediately report ammonia and sulfuric acid leaks in 2018. The claim also says the company failed to conduct proper safety training for staff and investigate all incidents which could have resulted in a catastrophic release of harmful substances.
A month to plan's only seconds to ruin. Police in Stockton are looking for the person responsible for defacing a street mural just 6 hours after it was finished. That mural dedicated Stockton, the ports, and the community around the T now covered in tire marks after someone drove over it doing donuts and burnouts. A reporter covering San Joaquin County, Esteban Reynoso, talked with the artist, putting a positive spin on the situation.
But despite the damage that this mural had, Kia Doris Carter, the artist behind this mural, she says that she wants to have it repaired and to continue to do more murals like this throughout the city.
Those marks can be fixed. Everything can be fixed. There's nothing that can't be done. And a lot of people are reaching out to me saying, hey, when you fix it, I'll come help. Like, even more people want to come help.
The Downtown Stockton Alliance shared with CBS 13 that they paid for the mural using no taxpayer money, spending $15,000 in private funds for paint, labor, and road closures.
One of the world's rarest flowers will soon be in bloom in Sacramento States. Free of you, but it's going to come at a cost for your nose. This thing stays. Talking about the corpse flower. Famous for releasing the pungent, offensive smell. The flower is only in bloom for a couple of days if you want to catch a whiff of it. Zach State says it'll be visible your Thursday and smellable as well. Near the Sequoia Hall Tavern.
You'll be able to smell it, that's for sure. Tonight, the Sacramento Zoo is saying goodbye to a fan favorite, Blizzard. The snow leopard will be gone within the next few weeks. He's off to a new zoo, but it is for an important cause.
Yeah, Blizzard's about to get busy. The reporter actually showed up at the zoo today as the clock is ticking for guests to see the big cat one last time.
It might be 100 degrees in Sacramento, but at the zoo, there's a blizzard daily in the forecast. Blizzard, the snow leopard, that is, beloved by zoo visitors. Oh, so pretty. And now he's a snow cat, adapted to a hot climate.
He has an area in the back that's air conditioned. During the hot months, we'll bring in big things of ice to help cool him down as enrichment, but we need to give him those opportunities to be able to cool off with all the extra cool.
But after more than a decade of calling Sacramento home, the big cat is destined for a big move.
It is definitely bittersweet to say goodbye to some of our favorites, but we know that it is for a good reason. He's going off to continue the snow leopard population.
Blizzard will be relocated to a new zoo in the next few weeks as part of a breeding recommendation.
This is going to be the last time that snow leopards will be at the Sacramento Zoo, so it's a big deal. It's a big change for the zoo.
Blizzard won't be a first-time dad. In 2018, he and leopard Misha welcomed Coconut, the only snow leopard cub born at the zoo since 2006.
Snow leopards are absolutely an endangered species. It is really important for them to be represented in zoos.
It's estimated there are only 4,000 to 7,000 snow leopards left in the wild. So, as Sacramento says goodbye, it's a move that brings brighter days for big cats like Blizzard.
Okay.
Breeding recommendation Blizzard's like, yeah, man.
It's an important mission.
It is an important mission. The zoo encourages people to come out and see Blizzard before it's an important mission. Well, last time.
Right.
But for the cat's safety, they are waiting to disclose what zoo he's going to and exactly when until he gets there safely. We wish him the best. Hot out there today, hot again tomorrow. We are dealing with another First Alert Action Day. I've got the details on how hot it'll be through the afternoon coming up.
What is the balance that you are trying to strike here?
I need answers over the last 20 years.
Federal agents work inside your businesses.
Talk to the governor about this issue.
Yeah, politics Large with your political reporter, Steve Large. Maybe it's your mom, the kids next door, or even you. 15 million Californians have health care because of Medi-Cal. But budget cuts have left patients waiting months just to see a doctor. That's why voting yes on Prop 35 is so important. It guarantees healthcare funding that can't be redirected. So we train more healthcare workers and keep hospitals and ERs open. Yes on 35 protects Medi-Cal for the ones you care about the most.
This is CBS Community.
In California, earthquakes, fires, or other natural disasters can happen without warning. It's important for everyone, especially older adults, to be prepared. Make sure you have a solid emergency plan and practice it regularly. For helpful tips and resources, go to aging.ca.gov or call 800-510-2020.
Sponsored by the California Department of Aging, your connection to aging resources.
Attention, all body shops and mechanics. Have you heard of Quick Auction? Quick Auction is a revolutionary new way to sell an unwanted vehicle, regardless of condition. If you own a body shop or auto repair business, you sometimes end up with late sale vehicles. Quick Auction can connect you with dismantlers who will buy that vehicle and take it off your hands fast. Go to quickauction.com, answer a few short questions about the vehicle you want to sell, and get an offer in 30 minutes. That's quickauction.com.
I'm Josh Harger, and I approve this intersection. Homicides and property crimes are up. But Mayor Kevin Lincoln is riding above the law. Instead of tackling homelessness, Lincoln wasted over $3 million of our tax dollars on open streets at the sports arena and voted for $75 million more to renovate City Hall, including his own office. No wonder Lincoln's council is under a grand jury investigation. Kevin Lincoln lives the highlight at our expense.
Tori Apatonia, your reporter for Southern Sacramento County.
Big week. Prepare for contestant Ida Darkness and Sarah Chatty Coates. CBS Mornings this week. 7 straight up.
Air pollution and cognitive development.
The dangers one brings to the other have been known for years, but tonight, a study out of UC Davis found that even pollution levels below government air quality standards can have an impact on the way children's brains develop. Experts say children and teens are especially vulnerable because their bodies absorb more contaminants relative to their body weight compared to adults. Those contaminants can come from a variety of sources, ranging from cars to even wildfires.
Turn to action now. First Alert Action Day. Another hot one out.
Yeah, another hot one out there today. Many of us were ranging anywhere from 10 degrees to 20 degrees warmer than average, and we even saw a few records out there today. Stockton hit a new record today of 101 degrees, beating their old record of 100 degrees. And Marysville tied the record today at 103 degrees. Sacramento sure got close. We had a high of 100 degrees, and our record was at 101. As we take a look at temperatures right now, many of us still feeling the warmth from this afternoon. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s. The warmest spots out there tonight, mainly up across the foothills, where some spots are staying about 5 degrees warmer than where we were at this time yesterday. So the heat still sticking around, and it's going to continue to do so for the next couple of days. It's all thanks to our weather pattern right now. No marine layer at the coast, and no delta breeze out there tonight. Our breezes coming in from the north, if anything. Little to no wind, thankfully, but that is a warming and drying wind, and that's going to continue to keep our humidity levels very low. As we take a look at temperatures heading in through the next couple of hours, as we're looking at tomorrow morning, many of us started off the day in the 60s, but a few low 70s up across the foothills, as temperatures are going to be starting off warm and ending off warm too. Temperatures tomorrow, a few degrees warmer than where we were today. Many of us back into the triple digits again, and yes, just warmer by a few degrees. Sacramento reaching for a high of 102 tomorrow, 103 in Stockton, 102
2 in Modesto. Even as you get closer to the foothills and yes, portions of the Sierra, it's going to be a warm afternoon with 90s, triple digits up across the foothills, and a few 80s as you get closer to Truckee. Many of us are going to be dealing with the heat from the coast on up towards the foothills. However, we could see a few more records within reach tomorrow afternoon. Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, Marysville, and Vacaville all on the list tomorrow afternoon, as we could see a few more records develop. But overall, as we look at the next 7 days, then a first alert action day tomorrow, but the heat backs up slightly heading into the end of the work week. Many of us holding on still to the upper 90s. However, it feels just a bit better than the last couple of days, and especially tomorrow. Heading into the weekend, pretty dry and also warm too. Many of us holding on to mid to upper 90s through Sunday, and it's not going to be until next week that we do have some slight relief on the way, getting back into the upper 80s by Tuesday. Jake?
Thanks, Ashley. Next at 11, the Kings kicking off training camp today, while the Giants introduce a fan favorite as their baseball operations manager. Plus this, trouble in the Sin City while the Raiders could be trading their top wide receiver. That's next in sports. Stay with us.
First cut, last bite, family days, game night. Our window systems allow you to clearly see every moment in between.
Look at that.
We're parents and business owners. We work hard.
Washington politicians are failing us.
Inflation. Families pushed to the brink, choosing gas or groceries, housing or healthcare. I'll tell you what I am choosing. I am choosing change.
Kevin Lincoln, veteran, getting things done.
I'm Kevin Lincoln, and I approve this message because getting things done is exactly why I'm running for Congress. Working together will make life better, not harder for our valley.
You know that something. We have to think big. And you know that when you turn on. I know that all.
You're an outsider. Your culture is mine.
I got some trouble coming my way.
You want to go to the future? You got an hour.
Mr. Captain, why would I fighting? I don't see anybody. You see that I'm shooting. Exclusive on Paramount Plus.
Grand Cayman Island. Perfect for a millionaire venture capitalist from San Francisco. It's where Josh Harder stashed his cash. You know, the Caymans, where shady businessmen avoid taxes. While he was stashing his cash, Harder raised taxes of all of us. Over $10 billion in tax revenue. Tax haven for Josh Harder. Tax increases for all of us. Josh Harder, just another shady politician. The NRCC is responsible for content this advertising. Our window systems, your life. Get Duke's Stock Days deal. $200 off doors and $100 off windows. 100% financing available.
Look at that. From Northwest.
Xfinity Sports Zone.
Happy Tuesday, sports fans. ChiCi here. The Sacramento Kings kicking off training camp at the Golden One Center today. The guys sang their first practice of the season. Had a ton of energy and good pace as the team was to incorporate new star guard DeMar DeRozan into the fold. For DeMar, he was impressed with how connected the team already is. Just after day one out, Jalen Fox was impressed with how Debo picked up the Kings' scheme so fast.
Also time. That's our practice. Take me selfie. I don't think we had any left there. Yeah, no, I'm a new guy here pretty much, but it's we're building this already. You just see everybody already. I'm trying to just come in and automate more.
Just being able to watch what he's doing and understanding it. We obviously have some pressure breakthroughs here and there. Obviously, we're really careful with the players, but there are some little bits and pieces that you can get from here.
The Giants officially introducing Buster Posey as their new president of baseball operations today. The catcher brings a 3-year deal. And his first task, a tough one, bringing back NL Cy Young winner Blake Snell. Buster's approach will be simple. Put the best players on the field each day while relying on analytics and scouts to help piece together a complete roster.
The winning's great, and ultimately that's our goal, is to be a playoff team every year and compete for a championship. But I think just the overall big picture of being part of something that's bigger than yourself is really appealing.
Somebody like Buster asked for the ball, we give it to him.
and it's meant so much to this community, to this baseball team, the organization, the city, all the fun. So that's what I'm excited about, being able to work with the guys that have that type of success here in this organization.
And finally, according to ESPN, the Raiders have informed NFL teams they would consider trading three-time All-Pro wide receiver Davante Adams for a package deal that would include a second-round draft pick and additional compensation. According to NFL insider Jordan Schultz, Adams is considering a trade request for weeks and has a true few trade destinations that he would prefer, one of which the New York Jets and his old buddy Aaron Rodgers. First night of MLB playoffs tonight. The Padres winning tonight, the Royals winning tonight, and the Mets.
So we need the Padres with the Hunters.
Well, Hunter was streaming tonight.
He does. He's Jake. We'll be right back.
Get your home ready for the new season with Stanley Steamer. No, there is nothing like the feeling of a professional deep cleaning. Your home isn't clean until it's Stanley Steamer Clean. Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner. Watch out, California. There's a Trojan horse on the November ballot. Prop 33 is not what it claims to be. It's a misleading anti-housing scheme. 33 would repeal more than 100 state housing laws, including affordable housing requirements and eviction protections. 33 would make housing harder to build and harder to find, making California's housing crisis worse. So join affordable housing agents and reject the Trojan horse. No on 33.
On Start TV, justice is served every day. Watch the close of major crimes, Rizzoli and Isles Elementary, cold case, and more on broadcast channel 13.2 and now on DirecTV channel 84. Also on these other reminders.
The Toyota Sports Sunday. Sunday nights at 11:30 on CBS 13. Sponsored by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, with more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
I'm Kevin Kyle, and I approve this message.
Have you seen Jessica Morse's attack ad? It's not true. Kevin Kylie never supported or voted for a national abortion ban. One thing is true. Jessica Morse can't tell the truth. The Sacramento Bee said that she stretches the truth. A judge caught her trying to deceive voters about her job title. Even fellow Democrats say she has a difficult history of telling the truth. Jessica Morse, don't believe her. Don't trust her.
Allergies aren't fun for anyone, especially when they work their way into your home. A professional air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer can dramatically improve indoor air quality and significantly reduce indoor allergens. Your home isn't clean until it's Stanley Steamer Clean.
All right, we want to end tonight by sending out a big happy birthday to former President Jimmy Carter.
Carter turned 100 years old today in downtown Atlanta. To put up a huge sign reading Happy 100. The former president, of course, celebrating the big day surrounded by his family and close friends in his backyard in Plains, Georgia.
Wow, he made it to 100.
And not just his presidency, he's done so much for so many people.
Right, sure has.
That's a wrap for us here at 11. Thanks for staying up late.
Have a good night.
In this debate here in New York City is going to be a little bit different. The CBS News team says that both candidates are going to have to fact check each other. So if there's something that they don't like, that they think the other team is saying, it's their responsibility to do that, not the moderators.
This weekend, it's the NFL on CBS. All your favorite hard-hitting thriller action, but with a new twist. The players call the penalties now. Then the competitors play by the rules when they can be enforcing them. Heck, they have rules at all. This is legal now. There are players that just do all the jobs. Screw it. They're their own cameramen, too. Look, we'll still keep the refs out there just because sometimes they get knocked over and it's pretty funny. But they no longer have flags, whistles, or any ability to prevent
host, Stephen Colbert, and ladies and gentlemen, we are live right there. We are live after the 2024 vice presidential debate. It was the most vice important night of the entire campaign. The vice sentiment was palpable. These two men were both a heartbeat away from being interesting this evening. It was the ultimate showdown tonight between two very different Midwestern vibes. Hillbilly versus Minnesota Nice. Attack Dog versus Folk Hero. America's Dad versus America's Dad. Could you go pick me up? JD Vance just walked in here. Yeah. Now, the debate took place at the CBS Broadcast Center here in New York City, and that is just down the street from the Ed Sullivan Theater. So, I'm excited to announce that Governor Tim Walz is invited to come on my show tonight. Governor, come on over, sir, to sweeten the pot. I've got a free can of Diet Mountain Dew, and this alternator that I don't know how to fix. I think it's the timing belt. Is that anything? Is that really heavy? You know what? Hell, I'll settle for JD Vance. Come on, JD. No, it's only fair, JD. I'll offer you the Diet Mountain Dew as well. Plus, we have the sexiest chairs in late nights. Oh, yes, Senator Vance. It's 100% brushed cotton cushions, and they're twins. Every man's dream. I have nothing but respect for our fabulous moderators this evening. Though I had one beef over the rules of tonight's debate, the moderators are not authentic. Instead, CBS provided a QR code that supposedly, if scanned, directed viewers to the CBS News website with fact checks of the candidates' remarks. A QR code that sometimes took you someplace long after that part of the debate was forgotten is a great idea. And if you want to fact check if that's what I really think, just scan this QR code right there. Now, Tim Walz had his own version of debate prep. A few hours before the face-off, he was reportedly seen with his Secret Service detail jogging through Central Park, which is why he took to the stage with a Statue of Liberty hat and a $20 pretzel. The VP candidates were both different flavors of dough. JD Vance looked like a business lemur on beta blockers, and Tim Walz was a very likable coach, but appeared to be way over-caffeinated. I think the governor done overdid doing the do. And for his part of the debate, Vance took us back to the peaceful administration of Donald Trump.
When was the last time that an American president didn't have a major conflict break out? The only answer is during the 4 years that Donald Trump was president.
Yes, no major conflict, a peaceful time, free of any major conflict, as we all remember from the January 6th honeypot. Later in the debate, Vance tried to pretend that January 6th was no biggie.
It's really rich for Democratic leaders to say that Donald Trump is a unique threat to democracy when he peacefully gave up the power on January the 20th, as we have done for 250 years in this country.
Yeah, after his coup failed. That's like a toddler saying, look, I went to bed peacefully at 8 p.m., and I think that it's time we stop focusing on the 45 minutes I spent screaming and biting the babysitter because I wanted more bubbles. When Vance tried to compare the insurrection with Hillary Clinton complaining about Russian disinformation on social media, Governor Walz was not having it.
January 6th was not Facebook ads.
He's right. It's not. January 6th. That's a fact. I'll fact check that right there. January 6th is not Facebook ads, but if it were, it would be 10 weird tricks to overthrow the will of the people. Mike Pence can't stand number 6. Then, Walz hit Vance with a question of that.
He is still saying he didn't lose the election. I would just have to, did he lose the 2020 election? Tim, I'm focused on the future.
Yes, Tim, I'm focused on the future. Let's not talk about January 6, 2021. Let's talk about January 6, 2025. This time we're bringing two shamans. At one point, Vance tried to turn one of Trump's most despicable immigration policies, the child separation,
family separation policy in this country is unfortunately Kamala Harris's wide open southern border.
Nice job. The real cheating on his wife with the porn star is Kamala Harris's immigration policy. Tragically, her southern border is the one with the mushroom penis. Ben. Mushroom penis. Ben. Really? Mushroom penis. Ben, CBS's talented moderators informed the audience that the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, were here legally, so they wouldn't be deported. It was less of a fact check, more of a clarification. But J.D. Vance didn't like that at all. He kept trying to cut in, so Margaret Brennan was supposed to say this.
Thank you, gentlemen.
The fact that's not been on the books.
Gentlemen, the audience can't hear you because your mics are not.
Oh! Mic drop, literally. If you keep this up, little misters, I will turn this broadcast center around. Then nobody gets to be vice president. Do not test me. What do you think? Do not touch your other. Do not touch the other candidate. J.D. Vance tried to appeal to the walls and maniacs watching.
You're going to hear a lot from Tim Walz this evening, and you just heard in the answer a lot of what Kamala Harris proposes to do, and some of it, I'll be honest with you, it even sounds pretty good.
And that's why I'm voting for Harris Walz 2024. Wait. Wait, no. Oh, shit. Trump's going to send a mob to hang me, isn't he? Then the conversation turned to reproductive rights. Tim Walz brought up Budget 2025, leading to this question for Vance.
Senator, do you want to respond to the governor's claim? Will you create a federal pregnancy monitoring agency?
No, I'll just monitor it myself. Starting with you two ladies. Margaret, Nora, when was the first day of your last time of impurity? And did you go outside the village to the moonlight and only return to the village after offering a total dog to the elders? J.D. Vance, Richard Leviticus, J.D. Vance went on a whole rigmarole trying to justify the overturn of Roe v. Wade.
Do you want to force Catholic hospitals to perform abortions against their will? Because Kamala Harris has supported suing Catholic nuns to violate their freedom of conscience.
What are you talking about? Nuns don't perform medical procedures. I know that. Because if they did, they'd be the star of CBS's latest medical drama, OBGYN. Yeah. I watched that. I would watch that in a minute. Vance tried to defend his opposition to the Ohio abortion amendment.
The people of Ohio voted overwhelmingly, by the way, against my position. And I think that what I learned from that, Nora,
is that people don't like me. But I do support women's right to choose. For instance, you're both women. I support your right to cut off my mic so I don't have to answer any more questions about abortion. Please. When asked about gun violence in our nation's schools, J.D. Vance had an answer. Anything but what would work.
I unfortunately think that we have to increase security in our schools. We have to make the doors lock better.
Unfortunately, we have to put a wizard by the door who presents all who wish to enter with riddles 3. Then, also, the wizard has a big gun. It's under the hat. That's the only thing I think of. Vance made sure to make many of his responses vague and patriotic like this one.
We are a country of builders. We're a country of doers. We're a country of explorers.
And we must support Dora and Boots. They're taking good American exploring jobs. They were talking about Obamacare, and when the Affordable Care Act came up, Walz talked about his long-time familiarity with the law this way.
All right, here's what being an old guy gives you some history.
I can name every law and order detective in chronological order, okay? You got Max Reevey, you got Mike Logan, Don Craig, and Phil Sorrell, Lenny Bristol. I can go on, okay? In the end, it was 90 minutes of constant talk that made one thing clear. Tonight was like having Thanksgiving with your most nervous uncle and your smallest nephew. It was unpleasant, awkward,
But thankfully, we only have to do it once every 4 years. We got green light, Phil.
Emergency crystals pop and fizz when you throw them back. And who doesn't love a good throw back? Vitamin D, the dark days of winter.
Prime Day Deal Days is coming October 8th and 9th with exclusive savings just for Prime members. You'll feel like a big deal. Top deals on electronics, fashion, and more this Prime Day Deal Days, October 8th and 9th.
My moderate severe cold symptoms can be out of the picture. With ChiChi, we'll significant symptom relief after 4 weeks. Many people were in remission at 12 weeks, 1 year, and even at 2 years.
Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight that may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms compromising or allergy. Liver problems may occur. Crohn's disease or UC.
Ask your gastroenterologist about ChiChi.
UC. Try to press rewind with Neutrogena Rapid Renal Repair. It has germ-proven retinol to target skin cell turnover and fight not 1 but 5 signs with visible results in just 1 week. Neutrogena.
Dangerous ladders. Gutter monk? Yeah. No wonder you ain't cleaning your gutters. Good thing there's leaf filter. Our patented filter technology keeps leaves and debris out of your gutters forever. Guaranteed. Call 833 leaf filter to get started and get the permanent gutter solution that lands blocks for good.
They took the time to answer all of our questions. They really put us at ease.
Get block gutters for good. Call 833 leaf filter or visit leaffilter.com today. There's trouble with Mary. Hey, Neil, Ray, we got a job. You Survivor, Wednesday, 8/7/7 on CBS.
I really appreciate you not taking consent. I'm so glad that you will see Sergio and Georgia.
Look out hungry. So cute, big friend. She's so happy your dad and we're getting along.
It's been 1 day.
I know, right? It's great.
Big him.
There's no don't let this on the coffee table.
You been up and slipping in little comments like a real bro.
Oh, it's not really making things.
How about saying that ChiChi might be dumb like her dad? She said that. She said that. I never said that.
I'm welcome.
Daddy's first marriage.
Oh, I don't think one ass man like yes, man, eh?
It's Thursday, October 17th, part of CBS Premiere Week and streaming on Paramount Plus.
This show isn't about the right answers. It's all about questions. I'll make for every single person allowed. Questions for me. I wouldn't need to watch the show.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation.
Mrs. Doubtfire, the smash hit musical comedy based on the iconic film starring two-time Tony Rob Ford as Mrs. Doubtfire. It's the surefire hit musical of the season. Coming to St. Pat, October 8th through 13th. Get tickets at BroadwaySacramento.com.
PhD got an arena.
Resolution. Nothing is up to conflict planning with smack from the shops. New season of shooting exclusively at Paramount Plus.
I've always been a survivor. After the campfire, I lost my home. After being sexually assaulted, I almost lost my life. Then, after all that, I found out I was pregnant. I
If I had been able to get an abortion, I don't know where it'd be. Kevin Kylie wants to ban abortion nationwide. No exceptions for rape or incest. No exceptions for survivors like me. It's disgusting and cruel. Kevin Kylie should not be in Congress. I'm Jessica Morse, and I approve this message.
Professional musicians over there, you must love the nightlife. This must be normal for you to stay up this late, right?
I mean,
Yeah, really?
That's what, I'll tell you what, the energy of the zone is just really getting it back to me.
Now, normally, these people know, normally by 10 o'clock, I'm asleep in bed with my dog Penny. That's right. I used to stay up this late. Coming up in a few minutes, we've got a young man. I'm very happy to stay on with us. It's from MSNBC. Chris Hayes will be here. And then a little bit later, the wonderful, talented, beautiful voice, Brittany Howard. This was on the first show. This was on the first show a long time ago. Well, folks, if you watch the show, you know I spend most of my time right over there in the news quarry, sourcing the most topical, non-mediocre Colorado story model, which I hand chisel, conjuring rippling fabric and flesh suffused with life and a surrounding edicule, underscored by gilded stucco rays to present the breathtaking, monumental Bernini's Ecstasy of St. Teresa statue. It is my nightly monologue, but sometimes, just sometimes, folks, my stolen golf cart breaks down behind a smelting plant where I grab a rusty rail spike and jam it in a chunk of blast furnace cast off to shape it into the head of a wolf that haunts my dreams and create the demented slag bubble of news that is my segment. In order to control the rat population, rat birth control could soon roll out in New York City. Or, counterpoint, stop having sex with the rats. Meanwhile, in Texas this week, Border Patrol intercepted 700 pounds of bologna. Apparently the #1 Mexican bologna most often smuggled was the popular brand Chimax, which, just like American bologna, cannot legally be called food. Yeah, that number. Meanwhile, an Italian woman's thick tongue has earned her a world record. That record? Picture, I want to see most never again. Looks like she was caught trying to smuggle some bologna. Meanwhile, in unexpected celebrity nuptial news, Lana Del Rey has married Louisiana alligator boat tour guide Jeremy Dufresne. Reports are that Lana was swept up her feet by Dufresne's romantic pickup line. Let's get some po' boys and beignets, lace and a bon ton roulette, jumbo guy live. Meanwhile, as you know, we're in the midst of Hispanic Heritage, which usually runs from September 15th to October 15th because it takes place in a secret month that only exists in Spanish called John Lake was August. It's the time of year where we celebrate contributions of Hispanics and Hispanic Americans to our nation, like workers' rights, salsa music, and salsa. And there are so many Hispanic-themed stories that in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, I will cover them in my segment.
Some are asking why no act that sings exclusively in Spanish has ever been included in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The plus side, that means no act that sings exclusively in Spanish has ever been forced to visit Cleveland. And celebrating Hispanic entertainment is just good business because a new report says the entertainment industry could generate an additional $12 to $18 billion a year in annual revenue if Latino representation in Hollywood improved. Well, if there's money to be made, Danny wants some dinero. So I'm ready to introduce my line of Latinized TV shows and movies like Godzilla vs. Kong vs. Abuelita, Bob Hart's Amish Hola, and of course, El Trapper. You will find Donde Están in the videos hang out. ¿Dónde está Photoshop? Mientras tanto, Major League Baseball is celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month with this campaign, El Baseball es otra cosa, which means baseball is something else. I think we can all agree, baseball is one thing. The sport you can get ice cream in uno pequeño element. As in the past, the teams will celebrate by using their Latin names. So the Atlanta Braves will be Los Bravos. Cincinnati Reds will be Los Rojos. And the White Sox will celebrate their Hispanic name, Dios mío, make it stop. Yes, yes. I mean, yes. Mientras tanto. In Chicago, Jewish and Hispanic leaders will break bread in a joint celebration of Rosh Hashanah and Hispanic Heritage Month. Of course, attendees can celebrate with their favorite brand of Jewish Mexican beans. Oiga! We'll be right back. What's this name?
Siri, what's the name of the guy I had meeting with a couple of months ago at Cafe Grinnell?
You met Zach Winking at Cafe Grinnell.
Hey, Swan, yeah.
Did you remember me? Yeah, of course. As soon as I saw you, I'm like, it's Zach. Nobody looks like Zach.
Looking for a reason to try new dog beef deal at the Mills? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5. That's everything you get with the new $5 beef deal.
Caring about Dodgers' overall health is as important in my health. That's why we're such a Dodger-stacked department with James. I love the first ingredient is a high-quality protein. Salmon, grass-fed beef, chicken. He genuinely loves it. Every time I shake the bag, he comes running.
You've probably seen all these negative ads against me. Well, here's the deal. They are designed to tear us apart. But here's the truth. My life's work has been fighting on behalf of others. It's why I became a prosecutor, district attorney, and attorney general. I took on drug cartels and human traffickers to protect our communities. Look, everyone's tired of the petty destructive politics. Let's turn the page and chart a new way forward. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
That's out of this world. Right now, save $50 on the MSA 60 CV battery chainsaw. Real steel, but yours.
On game days, you show up loud. You show up early. But only 66% of voters showed up to the 2020 election. Which is why this election, we need everyone to make their voice heard. Whether you're in New York, Arizona, Miami, yeah, even down. It's time to show up for our country. In the southern hemisphere, Townsend Mountain, your challenge is to reach the summit. With the umbrella prize. You forget to steal somebody's. I got somebody. You have to have somebody else.
And you gotta do what's best for us.
restricted by paranoid books. No matter how hard you try, you can't ever be in the mind.
NCIS will just premiere CBS Monday, October 14th, part of CBS Premier Week.
For the more than 1 million people living with Parkinson's disease, the Parkinson's Foundation celebrates movement at Moving Day. A movement
John Morty swore he'd protect us.
I will vote against any effort to federalize abortion law.
But in Washington, he voted to restrict women's reproductive freedom and punish doctors who perform abortions. DeWerdy broke his promise, siding with the most extreme members in Washington who want to limit access to birth control, IVF, and will pass a national abortion ban. No exceptions. National ban, even in California. Trust John DeWerdy and his promises matter your life. BCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
We're parents and business owners. We work hard.
Washington politicians are failing us.
Inflation. Families pushed to the brink, choosing gas or groceries, housing or healthcare. I'll tell you what I am choosing. I'm choosing change.
Kevin Lincoln, veteran, getting things done.
I'm Kevin Lincoln, and I approve this message because getting things done is exactly why I'm running for Congress. Working together will make life better, not harder, for our valley.
Presidential debate. My guest tonight is the Emmy-winning host of All In with Chris Hayes, and is joining us straight from MSNBC's debate coverage. Please welcome back to the Late Show, Mr. Chris Hayes. Good to see you. Good to see you too. I always like talking to you. You've got a very clear take on what's happening politically right now. They're trying to fresh hot blow in politics tonight. Sure did. I don't follow the politics. You can show we're going to send some folks on that on that panel over there. You have to be up for things like that, right? You have to go live for nights like this. We choose to live on nights like this. Yes. Was tonight worth being live for? I got no sleep. That's because I was waiting for a little more, like, fisticuffs up there.
It was a fairly low-key affair, I agree with you, particularly compared to that first, well, both debates. I mean, the first Biden-Trump debate was the most,
So I had myself sedated halfway through that debate. Well, I think Joe Biden did too.
well, that was the most consequential debate in American history. And the Kamala Harris and Donald Trump debate was incredibly compelling and dynamic.
Right, can't really compare this to that.
Exactly.
That was one of the best and worst performances I've
That's right. Yeah, we did both parts of the bell curve.
Sure.
This was more in the middle. There was a lot of that was interesting. I mean, I think that, look, Vance is a smooth talker and very sort of, he kind of relaxed and deft in that kind of environment. Walz was so clearly very nervous, which I always find very endearing and even. Sure. When you compare that with the restriction that Kamala Harris's first answer in that last debate was the same way. You can sort of hear it. But I think ultimately, on the sort of last exchange about the 2020 election, particularly on some real meat and potato things, particularly on healthcare, I think Walz did a really, really good job of sort of driving the key pieces of the campaign.
Yeah, some of the answers on January 6th, too.
Yeah, I thought that was the moment.
Did you guys come up over there? This can be sort of, I'm sure T-Lo did, but what did you guys say we won? Did you guys come up with an answer?
I think Walz won. I mean, I really do think he won.
Let me say I'm going to Fox. If you think the same on Fox, because what was after the Harris-Trump debate? They were like, we should play Scott.
No, I think you can make an argument for each. I think it was fairly close. I would have said up until that back half of the show, there's one commercial break. It was after that commercial break, they did a long healthcare exchange. They also did something, if I'm not mistaken, on guns. And then they did something on 2020. And I thought that Walz was at his best in that period. And I do think the moment where he turns to him and says, who will win the 2020 election?
Okay.
And Vance, so far, he's done a very good job of not coming off like a too smooth dude. So I'm going to look forward, not back. It's like, buddy,
sure. He wouldn't answer that directly.
Don't you think it's weird that it's weird that that's a question in the debate rather than a prerequisite for being allowed on stage? You have to admit that we live in a democracy and then there are results from elections that you have to abide by.
Yes. My colleague Lawrence O'Donnell said he's the first vice presidential nominee in American history who doesn't know who won the last election. I think it's a fair point. I think it's fair to say every single one has known the answer to that question.
Okay, so part of the rules wasn't CBS's idea, wasn't even the journalist's idea, but the rules were there could be no fact checks.
Right.
Okay, what do you make of that rule? You think that's the right way to go? And what would you want to fact check?
Well, I wouldn't want to do that, but I'm not negotiating for the campaigns. I mean, I understand why the Trump fans people don't want there to be fact checks. They like to say false stuff. That in fact it's not just incidental or accidental. They intentionally say false things so as to produce a sort of fear reaction that people are talking to. So, that's the reason. There's a few things. I will say I think the colleagues at CBS did a very good job on the exchange about immigration, where as a point of clarification, they're just like these people have legal status called temporary protected status. Right. JD Vance was like, you said you wouldn't fact check me. And then started trying to bulldoze them, and then he cut his mic for that moment that you just got.
That was delicious.
That was pretty good. Yeah. It is funny to hear the mic go out and go.
It's like the candidates are falling down the hill.
Exactly. There's a bunch of stuff. First of all, the most sort of audacious lie that JD Vance told was that. Ready for this one? Donald Trump saved Obamacare. I did not misspeak.
Yes.
He said that in a bipartisan fashion, Donald Trump saved Obamacare. I was like, what on earth?
Yes.
The man tried to kill it twice. He only failed because John McCain famously did this. He's been smarting about it ever since. They're plotting for how they can repeal it or they can unwind it.
Well, they have to struggle with it.
Exactly right. I think that was also one of those sort of bits of gaslighting so audacious, we begin to kind of implant retroactive suspicion in the audience for everything else he said.
Right.
Like, we were on it. Like people know, even people who are not super tuned into politics, like, I think know that's nonsense.
Right. When it remembers McCain doing that.
Yeah, there's a big moment in it. Yeah, exactly. So, the other thing that drives me a little crazy, just a fact check, is they have this monomaniacal obsession. Whenever they get a question about costs, Trump does this too. They basically do Sarah Penn 2008 drill baby drill. And it's almost to the point of absurdity. Like, I saw Trump get a question of Fox from a guy who's like, my kid's rent is too high. And he's like, what's the answer? And Trump's like, drill baby drill. It's like, I don't think that's really going to work. And the thing was,
the kid is right on top of the shale field.
Exactly.
Okay. We have to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Right back to more Crusades.
$10 of water, you can use one fire extinguisher. And to fight heartburn, why take 10 antacids throughout the day when you can take one Prilosec? For easier heartburn relief, one beats 10. Prilosec OTC, one pill, 24 hours, zero heartburn.
You found quite a performance. But do you really care?
It's mesmerizing. Cleaning the greasy mess with Dawn Platinum and not even scrubbing. Fluff my feathers. It cuts through the slimy stuff better than their old dish soap, removing 99% of grease. That's why Dawn was trusted to save love life.
If you're living with HIV, imagine being good to go without daily HIV pills. Good to go, unscripted. Good to go, on a whim. With Cabanova, there's no pausing for daily HIV pills. For adults who are undetectable, Cabanova is the only complete long-acting HIV treatment you can get every other month. It's 2 injections from a healthcare provider just 6 times a year. Don't receive Cabanova if you're allergic to its ingredients or if you're taking certain medicines which may interact with Cabanova. Serious side effects include allergic reactions, post-injection reactions, liver problems, and depression. If you have a rash and other allergic reaction symptoms, stop Cabanova and get medical help right away. Tell your doctor if you have liver or kidney problems, mental health concerns, and if you are pregnant, breastfeeding, or considering
knowing that he's getting good nutrition, that's a huge relief for me and my dad. Yes, that is your name. If you saw his big lemonade, you would say the same doo-doo. Can your pad flex with you without your thing? Always flex from him. It's the only pad made with a flexible foam cover with ways that fit securely. Stretches zero bunching and zero leaks. Can your dog do that? See what foam can do for you.
Saturday at college football on your head. Today, because you're on Air Force. It's big time, but the showdown is the horseshoe between Iowa and third-ranked Ohio State. Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
I'm Maddie. Matlock, right? It's a TV show, right? Right. What did I think of that crap in this Matlock?
Matlock, CBS Thursday, October 17th, part of CBS Premier Week.
CBS Sunday celebrate 50 years of American Music Awards history. Kane Brown, Mariah Carey, Gloria Estefan, Green Day, Jennifer Hudson, Shaka Khan, Jimmy Kimmel, Gladys Knight, Jennifer Lopez, Brad Paisley, Wayne, Stray Kids, and Carrie Underwood. The biggest stars, iconic moments, and new unforgettable performances. AMA's 50th anniversary special, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
How much difference can one vote make? Since 2023, more than 60 U.S. elections have been tied or won by just one vote.
Papa Murphy's everyday value lineup means big savings on big flavors. Like our new shredded pepperoni, crumbled sausage, or classic cheese pizzas. All for the small price of $8.99 each. Order now at papamurphys.com.
I'm Josh Hartman, and I approve this message. Homicides and property crimes are, but Mayor Kevin Lincoln is riding above it all. Instead of tackling homelessness, Lincoln wasted over $3 million of our tax dollars on corporate suites and the sports arena, and voted for $75 million more to renovate City Hall, including his own office. No wonder Lincoln's council is under a grand jury investigation. Kevin Lincoln lives the high life at our expense. The Toyota Sports Sunday. Sunday nights at 11:30 on CBS 13. Sponsored by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, with more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
Young gentleman, is Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Okay, let's talk about one personal advance. Donald Trump is now, since Joe Biden dropped out, as many people pointed out, is the oldest person ever to be nominated by a major party for president of the United States. Correct. And whatever his doctors say in the letters they released, he can't be that healthy of a guy. That means Vance could be president if he is, and Donald Trump are like president or vice president. Do you think people are taking that into account enough? Are they acknowledging the potential of President Vance?
No, I think it's totally slept on. I mean, first of all, J.D. Vance has only been in the Senate for less than 2 years. And that's the sum total of experience in public life. He's extremely young, and as you said, the actuarial math of Donald Trump is that, like, there's a pretty decent chance that J.D. Vance is actually president. And it's interesting because one of the things said about Joe Biden when he was at Arlene Kamala Harris was vice president was Republicans would be like, you might get Kamala Harris. And no one seems to think that's true about J.D. Vance, but it's not some remote possibility. And I also think the guy is just clearly not ready. I mean, despite the fact that I think he's disqualified himself by eventually spreading blood libel up against people that live in his own home state, I think that he is not ready to be the president of the United States.
Well, let's imagine for a moment that happened. Let's imagine it. Let's imagine for a moment that actually happened. What did we learn tonight about what the Vance presidency would be like?
Well, I don't think we learned it tonight, because I think tonight he put on, for most of it, a kind of, he performed reasonableness as well as he could. But I think, given his vast record of talking to every right-wing podcast that exists in America, it's very clear that he is sincerely animated by a set of pretty radical beliefs. I think he's kind of radicalized himself about deconstructing the nature of American democracy and the American state to maximize presidential authority and purge the deep state and replace it with the ruling class. And that's a serious project that he's seriously committed to and has said multiple times.
And so it would be fund him.
And the people that fund him, exactly. People like Peter Thiel, who, it's not so hard on democracy, and it's basically kind of cultivated advance from the time that he was at Yale.
Polls before the debate told us things we already know. People generally don't like J.D. Vance. They don't have a personal good vibe from him.
He's the highest negative, the worst favorability rating since Sarah Palin. They're even worse than him.
Okay. Governor Walz says he does likability. Donald Trump is 10 points under water, according to the polls. Kamala Harris just passed over in positive territory. So you got a couple people that the majority of people like. You got a couple people that a lot of people don't like. Does likability matter then? And when does it matter?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think likability probably matters less now than 20 years ago when I was covering politics, partly because of how sort of barricaded in the kind of structural polarization is. And I think there's fewer voters that were kind of up for grabs. That said, when you're down to the last few percentage points, I think it does that. I think, particularly if you're talking about people that are undecided at this point, as a general matter, they're not getting
the people, the hermits living in a cave somewhere in the middle of the United States who don't know enough yet about Donald Trump.
Correct. There are folks that are not usually paying super close attention to politics. And so I do think basically vibes and likability do matter quite a bit.
I think, people will say, why isn't Kamala Harris giving us more details? Why are we only doing a vibe election? But aren't all elections vibe elections? Isn't politics about how you feel about your life will be if this person's in power? Nobody out there is reading one-page plan that she put out.
That's the thing. There's an alchemy to it in terms of what the mix is of details and vibes and ideological disposition and how you identify and where. But ultimately, this idea from people that aren't paying that much attention to me, I just got to see more details. I just don't actually believe that's what they actually want to say. I think they're either lying to themselves or they don't know themselves well.
Well, we got to take another break here. Don't look away. More Chris Hayes. On the live, late show.
Sometimes kept me out of the picture. The sky risen. Feels significant stability at 4 weeks. Many people are in remission at 12 weeks, 1 year, and even at 2 years.
Various allergic reactions and increased risk of infections or vulnerability like that may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, cough, vaccine, or bleeding. Later problems may occur post disease or UC.
Ask your gastroenterologist about sky risen.
Approved for UC. Can you try and use me for restart that quest? And even $10 gives you total control. So you can turn it off. That's no smoker. Or turn it down. Nice and light. Enjoy 40 days of freshness. Real life.
Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5. That's everything you get. Give me $5.
Keeps you drier than ever. So you can say yes to more than ever. No. And the only thing stronger than us is you.
Today, you can give a gift like no other. A gift that can help St. Jude Children's Research Hospital save lives.
I think it's the most worthwhile place to put your money when it comes to childhood cancer.
If it weren't for St. Jude, I wouldn't be speaking again. If it weren't for St. Jude, a lot of kids wouldn't be with their families every day.
Let's come together to help the children of St. Jude fight childhood cancer. Visit this website, call this number, or scan the QR code with your $19 monthly donation. Join with your debit or credit card right now, and we'll send you this St. Jude t-shirt you can proudly wear to show your support. Today, you can help St. Jude save lives.
It takes a heart for somebody to say, I have this picture that I'm willing to give to St. Jude so that they can help save more lives.
I'll be honest, by the
Tracker return to CBS Sunday, October 13th, kicking off CBS premiere and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Oh my gosh. The memoir that your mother recently restarted before she died, From Here to the Great Unknown.
I knew that Graceland was a place that she felt free.
When did you know the drugs were a problem for your mother? She was taking up to 80 pills a day. Your grandmother, Priscilla, also wants to be buried here at Vegas. I think she would be.
Network special, The Precipice, Tuesday, October 8th on CBS.
Tonight after midnight, some might say I do, but tonight we're saying I will. Tonight after Quebec.
Oh man, I can't believe I'm missing this.
At La Mesa Redman, get the right RV at the right price. Right now, this new Winnebago Solis Pocket is newly discounted to just $465 per month. La Mesa Redman, the world's largest motorhome dealer. Visit LaMesaRV.com today.
Maybe it's your mom, the kids next door, or even you. 15 million Californians have healthcare because of Medi-Cal. But budget cuts have left patients waiting months just to see a doctor. That's why voting yes on Prop 35 is so important. It guarantees healthcare funding that can't be redirected. So we train more healthcare workers and keep hospitals and ERs open. Yes on 35 protects Medi-Cal for the ones you care about the most.
At La Mesa Redman, the right RV at the right price. Right now, this new Integra Honda CSC is newly discounted to just $446 per month. La Mesa Redman, the world's largest motorhome dealer. Visit LaMesaRV.com today.
Our friend from MSNBC, Chris Hayes. Okay, so, I think, Nora and Mark did a great job tonight. They covered a lot of issues. Is there anything you wish, something you wish they'd gotten into that they didn't get around to?
They did a fair amount of the subjects I wanted. I did kind of want a little more on the democracy question, just in terms of the size.
It's fundamental.
Yeah, it's fundamental. Also, like, do you think that it's appropriate to announce that you're going to prosecute political foes? Do you support the mass pardon of the people convicted of January 6th as Donald Trump does? Like, there's a few more of those questions I would have liked to see him answer. Partly because, as you saw in the question of who won the election, he really has nothing good to say.
Well, Walz used his closing statement to talk about how broad their support is. He said their voter bloc stretches from Bernie Sanders to Dick Cheney to Taylor Swift. I know, but it really makes it sound like Taylor Swift is distinctly to the right. Exactly. Well, let's take Bernie Sanders to Dick Cheney. Where does this ticket, the Harris Walz ticket, fall on that ideological spectrum? Closer to Bernie or Dick?
Closer to Bernie Sanders, for sure.
Okay.
I think that's true, particularly on almost every matter, but certainly on the issue of abortion. Certainly on basically every matter of domestic political economy and domestic policy, I would say much closer to Bernie Sanders than Dick Cheney. I do think at this moment in time, just heard in the first answer, that the foreign policy consensus that came off that station, I don't think it's exactly Cheney-esque, but there was not a whole lot of daylight between J.D. Vance and Tim Walz on that first question about
Neither one answered the question about whether they would support Israel during the Grand Strike.
That's correct. Well, it's also a little hard to say because it's not what does support mean? It's not my country.
Right.
So no, I think in basically everything, I think it's considerably close to Bernie Sanders. I do think we're in treacherous times in terms of the international scene and in terms of how the U.S. balances a bunch of very, very difficult imperatives in the Middle East right now. And I do worry a little bit the consensus in Washington tends to tip more towards the hawkish side of that.
Let's get away from the presidential election for just a second here. Of course, the Senate and the House are up for grabs this year, lots of governors and also everything around the country. Any surprises that you're looking for out there? Anything you think might surprise us in results?
Well, the Texas race is pretty interesting right now, and that's Texas for Democrats is kind of this
Colin
Allred, who's a congressman who's challenging Ted Cruz. Cruz You know, Cruz is doing the thing where he's going around being like, it's neck and neck, I need you to send me $25, which is, you know, he's talking his book, you've all gotten the text messages from whatever candidate telling you that same thing. But that race is closer, here's what I say, that race is closer than it should be. And the reason it's closer than it should be is, I don't think Ted Cruz is a very good senator, and I don't think he's that interested in being a senator. He records his podcast like 9 times a week, and gets up to Cancun at the first sign of trouble. And I do think that's hurt him with Texas voters, and I think that's going to be it's a closer race than it should be, even if in the end I think Cruz is still fit.
Well, Chris, I always love having you over here.
I love being here. That's all.
All in with Chris Hayes airs Tuesdays through Fridays on MSNBC. We'll be right back.
CBS Tuesday, October 15th, on CBS Premier League.
I'm Kevin Kyle, and I approve this message.
Have you seen Jessica Morse's attack ad? It's not true. Kevin Kyle never supported or voted for a national abortion ban. One thing is true. Jessica Morse can't tell the truth. The Sacramento Bee said that she stretches the truth. A judge caught her trying to deceive voters about her job title. Even fellow Democrats say she has a difficult history of telling the truth. Jessica Morse, don't believe her. Don't trust her.
Everyone's favorite Scottish nanny is heading to a stage near you. Mrs. Doubtfire is the smash hit musical comedy based on the iconic film, starring two-time Tony nominee Robin Thorpe as Danny, a father who will do absolutely anything to stay in his kids' lives. Critics call Mrs. Doubtfire a huge funny hit that fires on all cylinders. Don't miss this heartfelt and hilarious musical comedy, Mrs. Doubtfire. Coming to SafePath October 8th through 13th. Get tickets at BroadwaySacramento.com.
This is CBS Eye on Community.
In California, earthquakes, fires, or other natural disasters can happen without warning. It's important for everyone, especially older adults, to be prepared. Make sure you have a solid emergency plan and practice it regularly. For helpful tips and resources, go to aging.ca.gov or call 800-510-2020.
Sponsored by the California Department of Aging. Your connection to aging resources.
At Round Pizza, our delicious new shareables are rubies helping fiery jalapeno poppers, cheesy mozzarella sticks, and savory Parmesan yellow potato wedges. Better yet, go for the Dragon's Bounty single platter. Enough to share with all.
5 years ago, I reconnected with my estranged father, and that's just something I never ever thought could happen. But when he became a believer, he just had this insatiable appetite to learn the Bible, and he began to watch Dr. Stanley.
God always blesses obedience without exception.
He teaches in a way that it just makes sense, and I feel like that's the way our Heavenly Father will teach us.
The Toyota Sports Sunday. Sunday nights at 11:30 on CBS 13. Sponsored by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota with more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota.